We're live. The tweet is out. This is ready. Okay. Mom Brain, are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Get the hell out of here. Beep, beep. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 808. The Meltan Podcast. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a part of the Greenlit Podcast Network at greenlitpodcast.com. Mom Brain.
Yes.
Will you tell us about Meltan, please? One of the few Pokemon I know what it looks like.
I feel like
Meltan.
I feel like when you're reaching to me that you're just like, casually not hyperextending yourself, and then I'm like,
I'm sorry. I'll reach further next time.
I don't know that you aren't reaching as far as you can. It just I
have
feel
little hands and stubby arms. What more do you want from me?
all right, my sweet T-Rex boy.
Nikki Hill, what did you think I said?
Miltan. I thought it was based on the character from Office Space.
Miltan Brownlee.
Okay.
Milknoff.
So Meltan, it melts particles of iron and other metals found in the subsoil,
I know.
so it can absorb them into its body of molten steel.
Precious nutrients.
They're
I
not
know.
I know.
they're not even an inch tall,
I'm a Pokemon professor too.
but weigh 17 pounds. Gender is unknown. Category is Hex Nut. And abilities include Magnet Pull.
Ooh. The days of Beast Boost are over.
I feel like
Mom
you
Brain.
pull your hand back. Like you're like, I get
This is-
close and you're like, oh,
I mean, this-
come on.
I can go that much. Is that better?
That's like me. Like I got boobs. Like,
I have boobs as well. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Mom Brain. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm great. Let's try this today. Hello, Josh Grobot. We'll go to you next. How are you, my friend?
Thanks. Very cool.
Very cool, Josh. Thanks for coming
A
to this.
big hello to my fans.
Wait a minute. Actually, let's do this. Hello, Kirby. How are you?
Hey, doing good, thanks.
Kirby, did you celebrate a birthday this past week?
Yeah, it was on Thursday.
Oh, well, I believe we have something for you.
Oh, okay.
Is that what I sound like?
Is that the happy birthday song? As best as we can tell,
Beautiful, Josh. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was very moving.
Sounds like Josh enjoyed the birthday more than you did at the end there.
Dew Michaels is here. Hello, Dew. Dew?
Uku!
Oh.
Sorry, that was me.
Sorry, what was funny, I uku'd, I got the mute mixed up with the unmute, so I uku'd when it was muted, and then I unmuted it, and I was wondering why you guys couldn't hear me.
Hello, Nikki Hill. How are you?
I'm glad to be here.
You don't sound like it.
Sounds that way.
Yeah,
No,
right?
I just had a thing in my mouth. I bought Doritos 3D Crunch chips.
Ooh.
I don't want to
They're
be here.
essentially big bugles that are closed at the end.
Oh, I remember the 3D Doritos.
And,
Definitely.
great.
I just don't know why they have to change the flavors. You know?
Well, I don't know. Explain.
Keep the same flavor and see if people want the extra crunch. That's it.
Well, hold on a
Like
second.
the
Hold on a
crunch
second. Hold on a
flavor.
second. Hold on. First off, hello, Vitamin G. How are you?
Sorry.
I am absolutely thrilled to be here.
I just wanted to make sure we got the hello and the Vitamin G before you went on your Doritos rant, but I'm ready. Go for it.
No, I mean, put out the regular flavors, and if people like the extra crunch, you know. If they like it for the extra flavors, now you don't know if they like the crunch or the flavors.
So what do you mean? What is the flavor?
Chili cheese nacho
Oh.
Oh no.
and spicy ranch, and they both just like
What,
it's a spice I don't want in my mouth.
what kind of ranch did you say?
spicy?
Oh, spicy ranch. Okay.
I got diarrhea just hearing the flavors.
Yeah, that's I agree with that. Like at least go with your regular Dorito flavor and you can do the
Yeah.
other ones too, but give us
Or even
is
like
there
a
not
flamin' hot.
is
like,
there not a regular Dorito 3D right now? They're just doing these two?
Not where I went to the store.
Oh,
And
so it
also
could
where I went to the store does not have Viennetta.
it could be out there then. Just you didn't see it.
Maybe.
Hello, Fluffernutter, and Joe is cool, and Akamu, I wanted to say Akuma, and Dre Gamer, and Malakalo, and Hiley and Tom, and Mom Brain, and Anastasia Beaverhausen, Nate or Die, Giant Reggie, Shillelagh, Rosemary the Farmer. I feel like I haven't seen that name in a while. Thanks for joining us. And whoever else I didn't see in here. Hello, Tanuki Tony.
Fluffernutter mentions spicy sweet chili. Didn't Do have an issue with the spicy sweet chili once?
Is this true?
Of 3D Doritos?
Well, just regular Doritos.
I, not that I recall, and I remember many bathroom visits and their causes. So
I feel
I
like
don't
I
think
remember
so.
you like hating them and saying they were disgusting, but then you couldn't stop eating them.
I thought.
Well,
thought there
that
was
does
something
sound
too.
like. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
That does sound like me to a T, to say that I hate something and then continue to
And you
torture
were
myself
like,
through it.
I remember you
think
angry.
we had a lot of collective moments like that as a group too.
Yeah.
Like the rolled gold cheddar cheese pretzels.
That's basically what-
terrible.
That's basically what Takis are.
Yes, it's true. The food you want to block out. Hello, Nintendo and Joe and Colma. Thanks for joining us.
But they confuse you into eating more.
Rosemary the Farmer says, glad to be here. Freddie Fro's usually a big enough mouth for both of us, but I'm taking over today. Ho, ho, ho. Well, we're happy to have you. There is, I don't know what happened this week, but this week had so much big news. There's a ton to cover. This week had stuff that's bigger
Call
than
of
some
Duty, bro.
E3 weeks. No Call of Duty announcements this week, Josh. So I want to get into the news quickly, but I can't because I have to have Mom Brain talk about something. We won't go long. Mom Brain is trying to figure out what she's going to talk about right now, and I think she knows it, and she's very nervous. Mom Brain.
I don't want to talk about
Mom Brain,
it. What?
did you embark on a new adventure this week?
I did. It was
This is a space where there's no judgment for what you do to entertain yourself, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else or yourself, and that is
It's
the
the
case.
internet. No one here will judge you.
That is right. The
That's
internet,
right.
everyone is happy.
they will
and
all keep their
nice.
opinions to themselves.
Exactly. Mom Brain, tell us about your new entertainment journey.
All right, so I'm just gonna come right out with it. I started watching a soap opera this week. Now, look, I grew up in a house where like it was like that was like a put down. If you were like a soap opera person, you were like lazy or like melodramatic or whatever. So like, I had to kind of get over that like very biased, like deep rooted bias, right? So, but when I was like, I don't know, maybe like middle school, high school, I stumbled upon like the super old gothic soap opera, Dark Shadows, and I flippin' love it. So the other night we were watching like, I don't know, what was it? Like,
I know exactly what happened. The other night we were watching The Price is Right, and we were watching it was The Price is Right, yes, because The Price is Right ended, and then YouTube TV was like, well, here's another show on CBS that's on in the morning, and it went right to that.
and it was The Young and the Restless. And so I watched it and I was like, you know what? I feel like now's the time. Like, I feel like I missed this whole like year-long lockdown. I could have been watching soap operas. So I started watching, and I gotta tell you, it's fun. It's just fun. I don't know if I'm gonna be like die hard, but I'm enjoying it.
Fluffernutter says, funny that they're called soap operas since they're anything but clean. Ooh, they are salacious.
Well, I think that they were more salacious when we were kids. Like, it's the same level of salaciousness, but in comparison to what's on TV now, I think that they're a little bit tame. I mean, so far, maybe it's just the Young and the
Well,
Restless.
like I said, there was that one summer where my sister and I have no idea why we did it. We were just like hanging at home during the summer. Both parents were working. We were both, I don't know how young we were, but we didn't have anything to do. And we would watch game shows, Price is Right and all that stuff because you're home. And if nobody was outside playing or anything, we would just hang inside and watch TV. And what was it? Passions came on.
Yeah.
And we saw the first 5 minutes of it. We were like, wait, it's about magic? Like these are witches? And we watched it for a whole summer. We were like, this is the greatest show. And then after that summer, you go back to school, so we can't watch. And I guess we had a VCR. We could have recorded every episode, but we didn't do that. And that was it. The one summer of Passions. And we never went back. Yes.
Come on, Brain.
Yeah.
I don't want to stress you out.
Okay.
But for you to be completely caught up, you're going to have to watch 12,277 episodes.
But I feel like I know exactly, like every time there's a character that comes on, I'm like, okay, so I know what their deal is. I'm like, this one wants to get back with her ex-husband, who she has like divorced once before. Like, so I feel like it's pretty well... it's like wrestling. You can jump in whenever and you like pretty much.
Yeah, or comic books. You have to just jump in and go for it. Hello, Wolf Rick Chaser. Hello, Totodile. Joe says, did you guys get the soap opera Neighbors in the U.S.? I don't remember it. We have EastEnders here, not our own version of it. We just have regular EastEnders. We can watch EastEnders here. And Malakalo says, I did the same thing with Passions. What the hell? You had a summer of Passions as well? I guess like back in the day when there was no internet, What is going on? Who's in a war zone? Who's unmuted right now?
Well, I was just clearing my throat.
The background of your phone call sounded like explosions.
Do you clear your throat with a hairdryer?
That sounded great. Anyway, go ahead, Kirby.
So for the longest time, I thought that Passions was just like a joke. I thought it was like a spoof show or something.
Oh, it was not. It was the real deal.
Yeah, I never really watched it or The Young and the Restless, but when I would visit my grandma's, Young and the Restless was always on TV.
I mean, I know the Young and the Restless theme song. I've known it for years, but
it's so good.
My parents never watched. My grandparents, I don't know anybody in my family that watched. I think it was from literally watching like The Price is Right, and then the news would be on, and I wouldn't pay attention to the news, and then after the news is the Young and the Restless. So I would just hear the song, and that was that.
Yeah, the song is just like a piano going like dun 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 or something.
Yeah, it's great.
And there's some strings in there.
So look, I feel like yeah. And then like yesterday's episode was like next week on The Young and the Restless, and it showed like a couple little things that were gonna happen.
But that's the other thing, it's on every week now. You're all caught up though, right? As far as this week, you've watched all episodes for this week.
I have this.
And they're a half hour?
Maybe a little more. I guess they're a half hour. It's just fun.
But now it's officially set to record.
Yeah.
For 1 hour.
What's that, Nikki Hill?
It says they're 1 hour episodes.
Well, Mombrain.
Well, I guess they are.
I mean, it's been on for a billion years.
Time flies when you're having fun, and like when you're just really enthralled and that absorbed in it, I'm sure it feels like it's only 15 minutes.
I was thinking about this earlier. It's kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe because there's so many episodes and everything's interconnected, and it's obviously hasn't been going on as long as far as the cinematic universe goes, but it's been going on for a long time, and I just love the idea of an interconnected world, like all that, on that show. I'm sure they're talking about things that happened 30 years ago at some point.
Yeah, they keep like referring to something Sally did in LA, and I'm not sure exactly what it is she did in LA, but I know it was bad.
What does it say? Can you see that? Well, Mombrain.
Ready to
go ahead.
Something.
That's great, Mombrain.
I hear when there's new writers who want to start writing on that show, they sit them in a chair and they wedge their eyelids open and they make them watch the entire show so that they can do all of that interweaving.
I heard that too. I think that's true.
Yeah.
There's, I'm sure there's plenty of historians out there for the Young and the Restless who are updating the wiki every single day to make sure it's perfectly accurate. Well, Mom Brain, I wish you good luck on your
Thank you.
journey. Keep us updated every week, please.
Oh, wait. One thing, though, Mom Brain. Is there ever a time when you're, like, waiting for somebody to, like, throw somebody into the ring or something like that?
No. But I will tell you right now, there's a character who suffered some kind of a stroke that was an accident, but somebody caused the accident to happen. And in yesterday's episode, she just started being able to move her hand, but she doesn't want anybody to know.
Thank God.
She doesn't want anybody to know. I'm not sure why.
That's
She
like Randy Orton
she,
from the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
she can milk it for years then.
They thought he heard his name. He didn't want anybody to know.
Yeah. So there's that.
How's it feel to come clean, Mom Brain?
Feels great.
Hello, Blood Ocean 07. Good to see you. All right, let's get into the news because, like I said, there is a lot.
I will be dismissing myself in just a little while.
Oh, yeah, I meant
will
to
be
say that.
attending a virtual drum recital.
Ooh.
So
You should just print out a picture of yourself and put it in front of the webcam.
But you say you're going to come back, right?
yeah, I mean it's
How long is a drum recital?
well, it's like a bunch of kids. So
Boom, 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 bat, 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 boom, boom, boom.
it runs from 4 to 5:30. But once I see the kid that I'm going to see, I can come back to the podcast. So
A band, and you're going to disrespect all the other kids.
yeah,
Oh well.
I don't care about them.
I don't remember if we still have the fiscal button on the soundboard. I don't remember if it's there.
I think we do.
Well, you can try and hunt it down while I'm going over this data. Nintendo put out their latest financial information for the quarter. So that's the third quarter of the current fiscal year. So we got one more quarter and then they'll swap over to the next fiscal year. Well, we got a whole bunch of sales updates and all that good stuff. And I'm sure you guys know already, but Nintendo is doing very well. But now we have some details on just how well they're doing. The Switch so these numbers go up to.
I heard they're doomed.
Well, Nintendo's always doomed. Yeah, these numbers go up to the end of December, so no January numbers in there, and no little bit of February. As of the end of December, Nintendo has sold 79.87 million Switch units worldwide. So this sucker is selling ridiculously well. And it's been selling well for a long time, but this is the first quarter where we have seen the Switch overtake the Wii. So at the same calendar years aligned, at the same point in its lifespan, the Switch is now doing better than the Wii ever did. And obviously things are trending that way, so it's going to continue at least for the foreseeable future. And we're going to have some comparisons to other sales figures on that. Mom Brain, I'm guessing you don't have this.
I don't see it. I mean, it could be there, and I'm just,
It's okay. So Nintendo does something they rarely did. They adjusted their hardware forecast up. They're expecting to sell 26 million units by the end of this fiscal year, where I believe it was 20 before. So they adjusted it quite a bit. Also, we have the tally of if you want to know the split,
wow,
there's 66 million Switch units out there and 13 million Switch Lite units out there. The Switch software sales so far are at 532 million units sold. So 500 million units of Switch software have been sold in the system's lifespan so far. And Nintendo is expecting another 205 million units in software sold just in this fiscal year alone. Now, the real exciting stuff, we have the Million Sellers update. Still the best-selling game. Well, does anybody have a guess at what the best-selling game on the Switch is?
Call of Duty.
Thank you, Vitamin G. Call of Duty is not the best-selling game.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Call of Duty, bro.
No, Josh, no. Yes, Nikki Hill, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still the best-selling Switch game. As of the latest update, it has sold 33 million units. But Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just beeped. Beep,
Oh.
beep.
Beep, beep. Beep, beep. There it is. But Animal Crossing New Horizons is really close behind, which is crazy because Animal Crossing released less than a year ago. But Animal Crossing is currently at 31 million units sold. So there's no doubt Animal Crossing is going to overtake Mario Kart. Both games are going to continue to sell, but Animal Crossing will soon be the best-selling Switch title.
Yeah, but also just like know that
Hell
Mario
yeah.
Kart 8 came out on what, the 3DS?
Nope, on the Wii U.
Oh, it was on the Wii U?
Yes.
So like it's been out and it's sold on other systems and it's still the highest or most the highest selling whatever, you know what I mean.
Well said, Nikki.
Best selling Switch game.
Yes. But this is the deluxe version, so I had some extra stuff added in as well.
Yeah, like tomato, lettuce, and
yeah, it just goes to show how few people bought the Wii U. But anyway, Super Mario 3D All Stars is at 8.3 million. Ring Fit Adventure is at 8.6 million. Remember, Ring Fit Adventure is the game that when it came out, a whole bunch of analysts said, well, this game flopped and it's not going to sell. And Nintendo fans were like, this sells differently than a regular Nintendo title. How do you not recognize that? And
You're
here
a
we are
sweaty.
with it with it selling 8.6 million. So yeah, we Nintendo fans were right. Analysts were wrong. Once again, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is still racking it up. This has been the best-selling Zelda title of all time for a while now, but it continues to move units. It's sold 21 million units so far. Smash Brothers Ultimate is at 22 million units. Super Mario Party is at 13 million. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is at 9 million. Paper Mario, the Origami King, is at 3 million, which might make it the best-selling Paper Mario of all time, if not very close to it. So it'll get that title soon. Pokemon Sword and Shield is at 20 million. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which is a brand new addition to the chart, has sold 2 million units. Now remember, we know it shipped over 3 million, but this data only goes to the end of December. So now we can figure out where the rest of those numbers come from. What do we got here? Super Mario Odyssey is at 20 million units. Luigi's Mansion 3 is at 9 million. Here you go, Nikki Hill. Or I should say Do Michaels and Nikki Hill.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
Nikki Hill, you know it as Solitaire and 50 Other Games. Do you know it as Moncala and 50 Other Games? That title, Clubhouse Games, has sold. Where'd my number go? My number disappeared.
It's probably a cool number.
It's at 2.6 million units sold. Splatoon 2 is at 11 million units. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is at 1.4 million. Super Mario Maker 2 is at 6.9 million. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit is a new addition to the chart, and that sold over 1 million units. So it did that in a month. Remember, that's how much does that cost? $70, $80? Maybe it's even more than that. I think it might be 80. And then we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and combined they've sold 13 million units. And the one that makes me the happiest, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, is another addition to the charts, and it has sold in 1 quarter. Now let's see, it's not really the full quarter. I guess it's like a month and a week, maybe. It sold 1.94 million units, making it the best-selling Pikmin game of all time. So that's great news to see. I don't want to say it's explosive sales, but it's because it's not, but it is much bigger sales than any other Pikmin game. This game has managed to outsell all other Pikmin games in just a month and a week. Those games had years to get their tallies. So there you go. Pikmin is getting a little bit of recognition. Do Michaels bought it. He helped that number.
And it felt good.
That's right, baby. So there's your updated million sellers list. There's really nothing to talk about on the calendar of releases. It's all the same stuff. So if you want to release dates for Bayonetta or Viennetta or Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild
like a
2,
release date for Viennetta.
there's still TBA. Metroid is still TBA, all that stuff. So you're not getting any new dates for that. And that was the majority of your sales data. We might have, I know we have some other tidbits in there to talk about, but we're not getting into the nitty gritty. Shillelagh says, well, I'm not going to say what Shillelagh says because I'm going to talk about it in a second. TMC 1983 says the Switch is going to fail. Yes, we all remember those conversations, but here we are. The Switch has officially outsold another system. The Switch, in less than 4 years, managed to outsell the total install base of the 3DS. The 3DS sold 75 million units in its 7 years, I guess. And now the Switch is at 79.87 million units. So it did it. That means the next target for the Switch is the GBA. The GBA sold 81 million units. So truth be told, the Switch probably surpassed the GBA already because we don't have the numbers for January and we don't have the numbers for the beginning of February. So it's not hard to imagine that the Switch has sold another million units in a whole month. I mean, it's been doing more than that for a long time now. So unofficially surpassed the GBA, officially surpassed the 3DS. Shillelagh says, yes, I was just saying this in the financial results. Another milestone surpassed. This was known a few weeks ago, but now it's officially confirmed by Nintendo. Yeah, unofficial numbers showed us that it had surpassed the 3DS, but now we have the confirmation from Nintendo, which is always nice. Also, to put the Switch sales in perspective, Switch has sold more units in a single quarter than the Wii ever did. That shows you how big the system is. So the Switch managed to sell an unbelievable 11 million units in a single quarter. To be specific, it's 11,570,000. And the Wii never hit that number in a single month, yet the Wii sold over 100 million units. The only other platform to surpass that number is the DS. There were 2 quarters in the DS's history where it did more than 11 million units. So can the Switch do that? I don't know, but the Switch is keeping a steadier pace than those platforms, a more steady pace as far as how many millions of units sold every quarter. So we'll see. Yes?
You said something about it being a big system, and it made me think it's a good competitor as far as like power, I guess, right? Between or against like the PS4 and the Xbox, whatever the last one was.
I mean, PS4 and Xbox One are still more powerful, but you can have games on both platforms or all 3 platforms. I'd say PS4 and Xbox One are, I would say, decently more powerful than the Switch.
Okay, but the Switch is ridiculously small and it's a handheld, and it can still kind of compete with those systems. I mean, sometimes there's a lot that has to go into it, but companies are doing really well at porting things and making them. But
go ahead.
I don't know. It's been more than one time that I've sat down and been like, wow, this does everything that one of those giant systems with where just the power supply alone is bigger than my television console. And, and it gets the job done. I don't know. It's just impressive.
No, I agree. It is very impressive. You're not going to, in most cases, at least when you're talking about the more traditional AAA titles, something like, let's say Witcher 3 or Doom Eternal, you're not going to match the visual fidelity that are on PS4 or Xbox One, but you get those games on the Switch. And like I said before, Doom Eternal's port to the Switch, I think, is by far the most impressive technical port because, like I said, it's not as graphically impressive as the other versions of the game, but it is the exact same game with the same level layouts and the same enemies and the same gameplay. Nothing has been removed. And it's on other platforms, it's 60 frames per second. On Switch, it's 30 frames per second. But it is, for most, I mean, I can't even think of a hitch, but I don't want to say a rock solid 30 frames per second. But for me, it's unbelievable how close that game is to 30 frames per second, the entire experience. And the big difference is Bethesda was like, hey, here's an idea. We're going to treat the Switch like a regular system, just like it should be. And when they started developing games for the Switch, obviously they brought games to the Switch that were already out on other platforms. So those games had to be retrofit to the Switch. But something like Doom Eternal, from the very beginning, that was planned for Switch. Switch was always part of the plan for what systems the game was going to go to. And it really shows because Bethesda and ID and Panic Button, when it comes to the Switch, did an unbelievable job. That game is so impressive on the Switch. I really can't get over it. It's by far the most impressive port. So when you talk about games that have already released, it takes a lot of hard work from guys like Virtuous or Panic Button to bring those games over because they were never meant to be on those systems. But when you have a game that's releasing on all those platforms and it was intended to from the beginning, you see how well the Switch does keeping pace with other platforms. Again, you have to keep expectations in check, but stuff like Doom Eternal blows me away, really. Like it really shows what you can do with the hardware, and it also shows what happens when a developer is really committed, like Bethesda, ID, and Panic Button, especially Panic Button, because they're doing most of the heavy lifting. And Panic Button is the company that most people know as the one who really know how to handle the Switch. They know how to do a port. And we just found out this week that Panic Button is the team behind Apex Legends. They're the team doing the port of Apex Legends to the Switch. So that's EA turning to an outside company being like, hey, you guys know how to get this stuff done and you do really well. So we want you to be the team behind Apex Legends. So Panic Button is the one to beat right now, man. They've done some amazing stuff. Virtuous has done really great stuff too, but I'd put Panic Button at the top. But yeah, you're right. It's crazy to see some of this stuff go to all these platforms. And we're going to soon see, well, we've already seen games that are available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S that also have come to Switch. Are you leaving now?
Yeah.
Well, Mom Brain, it was a pleasure.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
We'll see you maybe shortly.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, Mom Brain.
Enjoy those funky beats.
I'm very excited.
I'm in charge of the soundboard now. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, there you go. Switch is doing really well. People are buying games for it. It's exactly what it's the best of everything for Nintendo as far as third party and first party and adoption rates and what people are using it for. It's going really well for them. So we did the Pikmin story. Here we go. Last week we were talking about Sonic and how we want Urkel to come back as Sonic, but I don't think that's going to happen. But a rumor was confirmed true about Sonic. There is a new Sonic cartoon in the works, and it was greenlit by Netflix. So Netflix will be the exclusive home to a new Sonic cartoon called Sonic Prime. Netflix says, yes, it's true. Sega's legendary video game icon Sonic will star in a new 3D animated series from Sega Wild Brain Studio and Man of Action Entertainment. It comes to Netflix in 2022. We didn't get any other plot details. We didn't get any information on who's voicing Sonic.
That's what I was going to ask you. Because wasn't there another voice actor that just left?
Meow.
What? Roger Craig Smith? You mean the guy who voiced Sonic?
The person who voiced Sonic, and then there was a female.
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, the woman who does Amy Rose is not involved with the voice anymore, and the person.
All these voice actors are leaving right when they're about to put out this new animated series. So, like, what happened first, right?
And the voice of Tails has left as well. I don't want to say has left. I should say, has been ousted, because I imagine it was Sega saying, "All right, you're out."
So
But
do you think they're just bringing all new people in with this new company or something?
No one cares about me.
I don't know what the situation is. They're dancing around whatever happened, and the voice actors are. Obviously, Sega's not saying anything, but the voice of Dr. Eggman right now, Mike Pollock, he went on Twitter to say he will be doing Eggman's voice in future Sonic games. So I don't know why they kept him around. I know he's hugely popular with fans, and he does a fantastic job with the character. He's probably my favorite voice actor in all the Sonic games. So he's sticking around, but I don't think he's doing the cartoon. I think they're getting a whole new crew for the cartoon. So You all right?
Yeah, I had my phone propped up. It just slipped. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, we don't know anything about the voice cast or any of that for this game or for this show. We'll find out. There will be 24. Nope. Let me make sure. There will be 24 episodes. They say
an hour long and edited to be in real time.
You're too slow.
They say it's a 24 episode animated adventure for kids, families, and longtime fans.
Is it a soap opera?
I can't confirm that it's not. Oh, here we go. We got a little blurb about it. It features the blue blur of video game fame and a high-octane adventure where the fate of a strange new multiverse rests in his gloved hands. Sonic's adventure is about more than a race to save the universe. It's a journey of self-discovery and redemption. All right, so he's going to masturbate, I guess, at some point, and then, I don't know. I guess somebody's going to catch him, and I'll have to explain.
Sounds like I'm watching all 24 episodes.
Masturbate a lot.
Oh, here you go. Man of Action Entertainment were the creators of Ben 10, so that's an award-winning cartoon. And also, you're the creator of that. And
Emmy
the characters.
award-winning?
What?
Emmy award-winning?
I just
Tom Bergeron 10.
I don't know what awards it has won, but it won awards. And they also say the team from Big Hero 6 is involved as well. So that's a big one. We don't need to read any more about that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We got to wait until 2022 to see it. So it's not anytime soon. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see what you guys have to say. First comment. Yes.
Oh. Just kidding.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
He thought by what you guys have to say, he meant that you meant us.
Oh, go ahead, Nikki Hill. What do you have to say?
I was just going to say I don't have anything to say.
Okay, moving on.
Huh? What?
Giant Reggie says, wait, Sega's chief brand officer is named Evo, like Dr. Evo Eggman Robotnik, and Nintendo America's president is Doug Bowser? This seems suspicious. Also, I think everyone's question here for this new series is, who's going to voice Sonic? Yeah, that's the question. It's going to be the guy, Ben Schwartz. I remembered his name this time. Everybody's wondering if it's going to be Ben Schwartz. I would imagine if they're going to do an.
I thought about that too.
It's very hard to do the soundboard and host. I'm sorry. I wanted to play that.
That's why I'm doing
We talked
story.
about this last week. Reginald Bell Johnson got the part. It was a part of Dew's rumors. Don't you remember?
I do. You're right. Except it wasn't a rumor. It was true. So yeah, we'll just have to wait to see who. I mean, it's clear they have something big going on, and they just don't want to discuss it yet. So all we can do is wait to see what they say. All right. Yes, let's go. What? Oh yeah, I guess I'll mention this very quickly. Nintendo is doing a Switch sweepstakes in collaboration with Burger King, and you can go to your local Burger King. And if you get a BK Kids meal, you can get some Nintendo toys. Let's see what they got here. They have a Mario Kart cart. They have a Link Between Worlds figurine. They have a little Animal Crossing puzzle. They have a Super Mario Maker Mario figurine. They have a Splatoon 2. I don't know what the hell it is. And they have a Luigi's Mansion Luigi. I believe that starts this month, and yeah, it starts February 1st and runs through to March 15th. So if you like to collect those toys, get out there now.
Did you say a Link Between Worlds is one of them?
I did say that. Yes, a Link Between Worlds Link. He's like a little flat link that you can make disappear.
That seems like old.
Well, I believe some of these toys are old and they're redoing them. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I think you would think they'd go with just like a Link figurine rather than specifically a Link between. Oh no, wait, maybe it's not.
No, I thought that was with the Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it looks like Link's Awakening. It's just flat for some reason. Never mind. I clearly don't know my Nintendo. Yeah, it's Link's Awakening, but why is it flat? Why is it flat, Nikki Hill?
I don't know, because it's a toy.
Well, look at the other toys.
The bowl bar. Why did I have the bowl?
The other toys aren't flat, Nikki Hill.
I don't know. I don't work for Burger King. I didn't make the toys, so why don't you go buy one? Go buy a kitty.
All right, never mind.
Whatever what are they called? Junior meal?
I think they're called BK Kids meals.
A junior Western bacon cheese. Junior.
All right, moving on. So like we said, the Switch is selling really well. And for years now, people have been like, there's a Switch Pro coming out. We're hearing rumors of a Switch Pro. Their production lines are talking about a Switch Pro. It really doesn't make much sense for Nintendo to release a Switch Pro right now because the regular Switch and the Switch Lite are selling so well. Why bother doing that when you don't have to? You do a hardware refresh like that when sales are slowing down. So while Nintendo might have had plans to do a Switch Pro at some point, they still might, they're probably holding off on them because they don't need to release one right now. They could do it with they could pair it with some big software title that's coming out later this year or whatever. Who knows? But yeah, you want to hold on to that to when sales start to trickle off because then you can rejuvenate the market. So Nintendo.
So how many weeks do you think or days before they announce a Switch Pro? Because usually that's what happens, right? They're like, no, there is no way this is happening. Oh, by the way, this is happening.
Yeah, they did do that once with the DS Lite, I guess. It was literally 2 or 3 days before where they were like, we are not redesigning the DS, and then they announced the DS Lite. So they have done this before, but this has been going on for years. And Nintendo's current president, Mr. Furukawa, has said once again they have no plans for a new Switch model. Just flat out said it. It was originally quoted that he said in another interview that they're not releasing a new Switch model anytime soon. But we got the full Q&A this week with investors, and he just says they have no plans to release a revised Switch model. But he did point out that they have the Super Mario Brothers, or I guess I should say the red and blue Mario Switch coming out February 12th, which comes with the special Switch carrying case. And then they have the Monster Hunter Switch coming out later in March. So he did mention both of those, but those don't have any abilities that the regular Switch or the Switch Lite don't have. They're just, themed versions of the Switch. So once again, no Switch Pro coming, according to Nintendo. The Pandalorian says, if, and that's a big if, they're working on a Switch Pro, they won't just come out and say it. Outlets and journalists asking this question and expecting a different result need to try a different career. Well, again, this was not journalists or outlets. This was investors from the investor Q&A. So the investors always ask questions that we know we're not going to get an answer to, and also weird questions, as I've talked about in the past, like asking Nintendo who mows the lawns at your headquarters because they look really nice. Like, don't understand why that guy asked that.
Respect him.
I guess so. So yeah, we're gonna have to hold out. They don't need to do it right now, so we're not going to hear about one.
Here's something.
Yeah,
they did. Nintendo, an NES Mini. They did a Super NES Mini.
Yeah.
How come they didn't do some sort of Game Boy that was preloaded with 30 Game Boy games?
Well, they already talked about that. They said when the Wii U wasn't doing too hot, they turned to other ideas to make some money during the time and give themselves time to work on the Switch. So they did the NES and the Super Nintendo, and now the Switch is their focus and is doing well, so they don't need those prop-ups right now. So they're not doing them. So whether they feel there's an anniversary they want to celebrate, or maybe they feel they need to make some more money, or they want to make some more money, then they'll put one of those out.
Thank you for your thorough response.
You got it. We there was that patent that popped up a while ago that Nintendo filed that was basically a Game Boy shell for your phone that you slid your phone into, and then you could play Game Boy games on your phone. It would block off half the screen of your phone and give you a more Game Boy style screen. And then you would officially download through Nintendo Game Boy games. So now that, as we always say with Nintendo's patents, just because they patent it doesn't mean they're actually going to do it. But that would be a really cool idea, and that would obviously be a cheap way for people to get in on it. I would imagine it'd be like a subscription service. Nintendo will sell you the accessory for your phone, and it's basically a hunk of plastic with a couple contact points for the touchscreen. So I guess it'd be like $20 or $30, and then you would get a subscription to this Game Boy service, and they would add in Game Boy games. So I was really hoping they would do that, and at some point they might. We just haven't seen anything come from the patent yet, but I think that's a really cool idea. All right. Oh no, I don't know where any of this stuff is. I want to go to the commercial, but I don't know where the buttons are.
It's in the same place it is always, every week, Raw Meat. Come on.
Well, Mom Brain and Josh work on this. Josh, are you ready?
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Thank you, Josh. We'll be right back.
On Apocrypals, we talk about the parts of the Bible that a lot of people skip over.
Like the wizard battles,
The angel jacuzzis,
a goat full of sins,
500 drunk elephants,
and a man named Porky Party.
and yes, that's all really in there. All this and more on Apocrypals every other week on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
We're the Spirit Hunters, and we're a show that treats Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho's author as the center of the universe. Some weeks we do linguistic analysis.
So the Chinese meaning of this character is to smelt or refine, but so the changed meaning in Japanese it means to temper.
Other times we get absolutely smashed.
So we take one shot every time. Yusuke uses the ray gun.
1 hour later.
This is the least coherent episode. Sarah,
I think your apartment is haunted.
I think you
You can find out more about the Spirit Hunters right here on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
All right. Nintendo also talked about being in the entertainment industry and how volatile a market is because you can never guarantee a hit. And they say the thing is, you got to be willing to take some risks. Nintendo's president says, "We are engaged in the entertainment business where trends are frequently profound and the future is challenging to predict. In recent years, entertainment has become more diverse and it has become more pronounced that we are in a business for which success is not guaranteed. In this environment, we need to conduct our business by taking more risks so that we can continue our mission to deliver unique play and ultimately put smiles on the faces of consumers around the world." Yeah, I think between Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, most would agree that Nintendo's the riskiest one because they'll do ideas that other companies won't even consider or think of. So, and not all of them are successes, but a lot of them are. They had crazy ideas like Wii Fit at the time, which is a big deal. And now Ring Fit Adventure, where extra gaming is more cemented in the market, but still, not something a lot of companies turn to do. But Nintendo's turned that into a hit as well. Then they have stuff like Nintendo Labo, which has broken 1 million units, probably closer to 2 million now, but hasn't been like a crazy success, but it's still stuff that Nintendo likes to do. The Pandalorian says, "I too enjoy engaging in risky business and singing in my underwear." I thought somebody was going to make that joke. Nintendo also says they're working on some non-video game stuff, or they're going to continue to work on non-video game stuff to expand their IP. Mr. Furukawa says, "We are also conducting various other initiatives as we continue to work to expand the number of people who have access to Nintendo IP, both through and beyond our dedicated video game platform business." So we've seen Nintendo do a lot of merch tie-ups recently. An Animal Crossing makeup palette or a whole makeup set just came out, and that sold out almost instantly. Nintendo's doing a collaboration, or Nintendo Pokemon Company are doing a collaboration with Levi's right now for Pokemon clothing to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. There's Super Nintendo World coming, obviously, which the opening in Japan has been pushed back yet again, but aspects of those parks are coming to Florida and California for Universal as well. So yeah, they're branching out. We know that the Mario movie is in the works too with Illumination, which they're aiming for a 2022 release. So that, yeah, they're doing a lot more expanding outside of the video game market, but obviously Nintendo's video games are still their bread and butter. Yeah,
I wanted to say there's some stories later, but it just seems like, we're working on all these things. Unless somebody leaks information about it, then we'll just shut them down completely.
We will talk about that, man. That is a crazy story. I'm very surprised that that guy talked about it. We are going to get into that. Total Henshin says the vitality sensor lives, but it's been reprogrammed to test for COVID. And if you test positive, that audio clip of Mario saying, "Oh no," plays. Yeah, the vitality sensor, I think, is pretty much dead. I don't think we have to worry about, or I don't think we have to wait for that one to come out. It's pretty much done and dusted. Pokemon Sword and Shield, as I said, broke 20 million units sold. And that is quite the milestone, because this is the first pairing of Pokemon games to break 20 million units sold since Pokemon Silver and Gold back in the day. In this quarter alone, Pokemon Sword and Shield sold another 1.3 million units. So the game is still selling crazy. Like, it's selling a lot. And that previous record for Pokemon games was back in 1999. So Pokemon games has still continued to sell millions upon millions, but we haven't seen them break the 20 million, at least mainline games. We haven't seen them break the 20 million mark since 1999. So will they become the best-selling Pokemon games ever? There is a shot. It's not a huge shot, but there is a shot. Giant Reggie says, many people... What? Oh, he's doing another pun. Many people soared they wouldn't buy this generation because of laziness from Game Freak and Pokemon Company, but that didn't shield more casual fans like me from buying and enjoying these games. Yeah, you know how it is. Usually there's a big internet backlash about something that doesn't really matter, or people say they care about online and then buy the games anyway, which is exactly what happened. I'm not saying the games aren't without fault and people don't have legitimate complaints, but there's always people online who are like, yeah, this is going to suck and I'm not supporting it. And then, you know, they log off of Twitter and they go buy the game and they play it, because they're two different people when they're in real life and when they're online. Nikki Hill, this is what you were talking about. Would you care to lead the discussion on it?
No. No, sir. No.
Adam Conover, which he's a celebrity. You probably know him from Adam Ruins Everything, or if you're a College Humor fan, you might know him from his years at College Humor. He was on a podcast talking about, the podcast is The Surf Times. He was talking about a whole bunch of things because he's got a project coming up with Netflix, so he's out promoting that, or I think they're doing one of his comedy specials, whatever it is. The conversation about Netflix came up. And that led to some really interesting discussion. You might remember, man, what was it, 5 years ago? A rumor came out of Nintendo teaming up with Netflix to work on a Legend of Zelda live action series. And everybody was like, oh, man, who's going to play Link? Is this even real? What's going on? And then, you know, things kind of fizzled out. We didn't really hear too much of the rumor after that. It was big talk for a little bit, and then we never got any follow-up information. That is until Mr. Conover was interviewed, because he talked about that Legend of Zelda project, and he says that it was real because he had ties to another Nintendo-related project at the time that got canceled. According to him, the Legend of Zelda live-action thing was canceled, and Nintendo canceled a whole bunch of other projects at the time because someone at Netflix had leaked that Nintendo was teaming up with Netflix to work on a Legend of Zelda live-action series. And Nintendo, as you know, for many, many, many years, did not want to do anything with movies or TV shows because they had such a disastrous tie-up when it came to the Mario Brothers movie. They had little to no input on that movie. And what they ended up getting was nothing like the original Mario Brothers games, and Nintendo wasn't happy about that at all, despite the star power that was in the movie. They just didn't like how the project came out. The movie has a cult following now, but I think we can all agree it's not a very good movie. So when that happened, Nintendo was like, well, we're not doing this stuff anymore. These people, if they're not going to let us work with them on the projects, then we want no part of it. So outside of a couple cartoons here and there, Nintendo didn't do anything, and they certainly didn't do anything movie-wise. So when Netflix started working on this deal, and then news of that deal leaked from someone within Netflix, Nintendo was like, nope, we're out. We're not getting into this whole mess of a situation again. So they canceled that project, and they canceled another project. They were working with College Humor, according to Conover. And again, Conover worked for College Humor, so obviously he knows. they were working with College Humor to do a Star Fox animated. I don't know if it was a series or a short, but they were going to do something like the Fantastic Mr. Fox. They were going to do animation in that style, so claymation. And that project was moving ahead, but College Humor found out that the project was canceled because of this Netflix situation. So Nintendo got cold feet for all of it, and they're like, "Forget it. We're moving out and moving on." And all of those projects fell apart. So obviously, Nintendo is not going to be happy that this information came out, and I'm sure Netflix won't be happy about it either. But these projects were real at one time, and we will never get to see them because of somebody at Netflix leaking it. Kendrick Lamario says, "I think the perfect Zelda TV series would be animated, dark, and with a young Link as a protagonist. I don't think an adult Link would work well since he would need to speak for it to be engaging, and getting that personality right would be difficult. A young Link talking would be easier to do well, I think. Something like Finn from Adventure Time, but less extreme. If they were to ever make a Zelda series and it were live action, God help them. Tough franchise to translate into live action without ending up being goofy." I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't know.
No, we're lucky. We're lucky they canceled it. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you like The Witcher?
Yeah, I like The Witcher, but we don't need a Legend of Zelda Netflix show.
The Witcher
we got plenty
is
of games that are good.
Witcher is it was like this. I think now it's the second highest viewed show on Netflix. You don't think a live action Legend of Zelda could work?
I don't think it could.
No, I feel like it's the kind of thing where, like, you really want it until you get it, and you realize maybe I shouldn't have been waiting for this for so long.
Well, all that matters is whoever you pick as Link as the lead. Who would play Link?
Well, before we talk about that, I think that it could work if they focused the story in some way. That you can't just do everything all at once.
Yeah. If
it were kind of some linear story, that was very focused and goal driven, as opposed to just like trying to capture the entire world of Hyrule.
Yeah.
And everything that goes along with it. That's where they run into trouble with stuff like that, where they're just like fan servicing too hard.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, if they were just like, let's throw in, as much Zelda lore as we can into this, rather than having like a smaller focused narrative. Yeah, I think something like if they were going to do live action, I think something from Twilight Princess would work out really well. I think they could do something really cool with the dynamic between Link and Midna and the wolf transformation, and tell a really cool story there. But yeah, you don't want and Ganon's going to be in it, and Tingle's going to be in it, and the guy who runs to deliver the mail is going to be in it. You need to focus on something, but well, I guess we're never going to find out. But yeah, I have no idea who should play Link. Either Kid Link. Is Jonathan Taylor Thomas still a kid? Can he play Link?
I think he's always a kid in our minds.
Eternally young.
He's probably our age, though.
No, he never grew up.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I've never seen a photo of him as an adult.
Thank you. Yeah, as far as an adult Link, I got no idea who should play that, other than Reginald Vell Johnson, of course, do.
Thank you very much. At least somebody's being serious, taking this topic seriously. I mean, I'm sure Julia Roberts' brother isn't busy. He could probably,
my God. Him as Link would be amazing.
I think him as Ganon would be great.
Him sitting up in the top of the castle playing the organ while Link comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
I see it's time for the fight, but first, let me tell you about these awesome walk-in bathtubs.
My name is Ganon, and I'm a doctor.
Stalked by my Ganon.
Would he be the Ganon with like the beard and the sideburns, or would he be like the pig faced?
Oh no, he's got to be the more human style. Yeah, the Gerudo Ganon. He's got to be. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, to tell you, man, That would be a terrible choice in all the right ways, and I couldn't even be mad at it. I would love that just for him being it.
We should start some sort of trending, like make Julia Roberts' brother Ganon Twitter thing.
Well, you know what? He is on Cameo. Maybe we could have him do a cameo where he's reading some lines from Ganon in one of the Zelda games.
No, send a cameo to Shigeru Miyamoto and it's like his audition.
Whoa.
Just send it directly to him.
That's great.
Yeah, I got a direct line from Miyamoto. I'll do that.
That's great.
Can we just buy cameos from Eric Roberts as all the Zelda characters, and we'll just see how they all come out?
Can you imagine if we scripted it and it was just like, all right, say exactly this word for word, and it starts with like, "Hi, I'm Eric Roberts, and I'm auditioning for the role of Ganon." Or, "Hi, I'm Julia Roberts' brother."
Yeah. Can you?
Hi, I'm Julia Roberts' brother and Kulim Ha.
Please, yes, Mr. Roberts, please don't refer to yourself as Eric. You need to call yourself Julia Roberts' brother. How much can we offend Eric Roberts in one cameo request?
He's looking at the script. He's like, "What the heck does Kulimpa mean?"
I don't think
he's never looked at a script and questioned it in his life.
Wait a minute, Gee, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, come on, he doesn't look at scripts. He just takes the money. He stumbled into great roles like Stalked by My Doctor.
This is also the reason why Nintendo stopped making films and TV shows.
Yeah, we'll send that their way, and they'll be like, "Well, we're done. We're out. Forget it."
But so, Raw, I wanted to ask. I don't know if you know, but were there focus groups when they did Super Mario Brothers, the movie?
I have no idea.
Like, we need to figure it out, and do we need to get somebody who was in one of those focus groups on the podcast?
You worked for Burger King. You should be able to figure this out.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That would be a great interview, Nikki Hill. I would imagine the.
I can't really imagine they did a focus group because I don't think any of that would have been printed, like put in the theaters if they did one focus group, but. I'm very curious to know what people thought of it. Like, people who gave it.
Clearly, they didn't show it to anyone who's ever played a Super Mario Brothers game.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like The Wizard is a real good video game movie, and I feel like they actually tried to make that into something that kids would enjoy, even though the focus isn't Mario or Nintendo. Well, the focus is Nintendo.
Well, they had to. Because that movie was, I think, pretty much made as like an ad for Super Mario 3, wasn't it?
I mean, Nintendo was very much involved with that aspect of it, but they didn't have the story aspect of it. But I think that's a good movie, right? We all agree that that's a good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I
can't wait for the sequel, right, dude?
Yeah, the series is coming out soon on Netflix.
All right. Switching gears here. If you haven't seen
New Jersey.
EA has announced that Mass Effect Legendary Edition is on the way. And this is something that's been rumored for a very long time. And when the rumors first came out, they were tied to the Switch. That we had first found out that this project was in the works because we heard that a Switch version was in the works. Well, now that the project is officially announced, there is no Switch version, or EA's pretending there's no Switch version and they'll release it later because that's what a lot of companies do. So we don't really know what the situation is here. All we know for sure right now is that there is no officially announced Switch version. So people want to know, is this game coming to Switch? Eurogamer talked to Mac Walters, who's Mass Effect's longtime writer, producer, and project director. And he said this, quote, "Personally, I'd love it. But ultimately, I think we had a path set and it was like, let's finish that. Then let's let's see sort of where we're at," end quote. So he's saying the other versions were in the works first. They want to get those wrapped up and then they'll see what they do, which is something we hear a lot of companies say, or we used to hear a lot of companies say like a year or a year and a half ago. Now companies approach Switch with the other platforms, but it's certainly doable, obviously. Mass Effect 3 was on the Wii U in one of EA's worst decisions ever. I still don't understand why they did that. They put out Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U at the same time they put out the Mass Effect trilogy on other systems for the same price. So on Wii U, you could buy just Mass Effect 3, and at that point, Nintendo players had no point of contact for Mass Effect. So they just dump you into the third game with the pretend questions section in the beginning to supposedly make up for the first two games that you didn't play. It'd be like, here, make a decision here, make a decision there. Okay, now you're all caught up, which is a bunch of bull. But yeah, they put the third one out on the Wii U, and it didn't sell well because people didn't know the story from the first two games. And why would they spend $60 on one Mass Effect game when they could spend $60 and get all three of them? So we're still waiting. It would be nice if we got it. I don't know. EA has certainly stepped up their Switch support, and they have more Switch games coming out later this year. But we'll have to see what happens. By the way, Mass Effect Legendary Edition is just the 3 games packaged again. It's not a remake; it's a remaster. So you'll get higher resolutions and better textures and AI enhanced visuals. Yeah, it will be nice because the Switch or Nintendo platforms haven't had the Mass Effect trilogy at all. All we had is Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. Entropy says, well, there's always a possibility for a cloud version or just release the original trilogy on the Switch or both. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a cloud version. They could do, there's no problem with the Switch running those games at all. They just have to handle it differently because they originally developed them for Xbox One and PS4. So, like the producer said, they probably want to finish up that stuff and then they can consider doing that other stuff. I have no doubt that the trilogy would sell really good on the Switch because, again, if you're a Nintendo only player, then you haven't really had anything from these games and you don't want to start with 3. And as long as they price it the same as the other versions, then yeah, I think it'd do really well. Moving on. We have not had a Nintendo Direct, a traditional Nintendo Direct, in over a year. It's been a very long time. Nintendo Direct stopped because of the pandemic, and now people are wondering if they're ever going to come back. We don't know for sure, but a job listing for Nintendo gives us some hope that they will come back. Nintendo has posted a job listing for an associate AV producer, and under the long list of duties, it includes this. May assist with filming live action footage for use in Nintendo Directs and other content marketing initiatives. Nintendo has not mentioned a return of classic Nintendo Directs at all, but this job listing gives us a little bit of hope that they might return at some point. We've had the Nintendo Direct Minis, we've had the indie showcases, and we've had presentations that are focused on just one game. But people want the Nintendo Directs in their original style because that's where you get a whole bunch of big information. KCST says, I don't recall them using much of any Western film bits for Directs in the Switch era. If they need to film stuff here, I'm more inclined to believe it will be a partner showcase or an indie world. Well, we don't know like what the filming of the gameplay footage or the filming of the developers that also appeared on those streams was like, or those presentations was like, or how it was handled. If there's Western developers that actually make an appearance, normally Nintendo would film them rather than what happens now. Everybody's recording from home. So there's a chance there, certainly. It would be great to see Nintendo Directs return. As E3 is coming up, you would imagine Nintendo will have something. So I don't know. But it has been over 500 days since we've had a regular Nintendo Direct.
But who's counting?
But who's counting? Fans are counting and reminding Nintendo every day on Twitter. Everything Nintendo tweets out is responded to by fans saying we want a Nintendo Direct. So, we finally have a confirmation on a release date for Apex Legends. EA, Respawn, and as I mentioned earlier, Panic Button are bringing Apex Legends to the Switch. Yes, hello? Hello? Did somebody say something?
I heard that.
Right? Somebody heard something, or somebody said something.
Hello? Hello?
Whoa.
Hello? I missed you, man.
Anyway.
There's Nikki Hill.
Nikki Hill, are you here?
Yeah, no, I am. I don't know what happened. My internet is something.
Nice to have you back. We knew what? All right, never mind. We knew Apex Legends was coming to the Switch. We just didn't have a release date. There was a rumor of February 2nd because that came from the official Japanese YouTube channel for Apex Legends, and there was also an Amazon listing for the retail version of Apex Legends that showed February 2nd, but that is not the date. Obviously, that is come and gone. But EA has confirmed the date. They are launching the game on March 9th, 2021. Remember, Apex Legends is free to play, just like Fortnite, so you can get in there and give it a go and see what it's all about and see if it's your kind of thing. It is a battle royale game. They just started Season 8 this week, actually, so you'll be able to get in on Season 8 action. And just to be clear, the retail version is not a game card. It's a code in a box, which is the same as all these other free-to-play games that get retail versions. So you get a code for the game, you get codes for extra content, like in-game money and skins and stuff like that. So March 9th, everybody, get ready. I have played Apex Legends, but I haven't played it in a while, and I'm excited to see how the Switch version has come together.
I also have played Apex Legends, and I'm not excited to see it on the Switch.
Why are you not excited?
Oh, I just didn't like it as much as Fortnite. We have a lot more fun in Fortnite. Apex Legends takes itself a little too serious.
I would say between the two, yes, Apex Legends is more serious. But again, we played it towards launch, and I'm somewhat familiar with how things are now. I don't believe it's as serious as it used to be, but it's still more serious, but obviously not as serious as Call of Duty. So it's a middle ground for the two. It's more colorful. There's more wacky characters than you would find in Call of Duty, but it's not cartoonish. And I don't even know if there's dancing or anything like that in Apex Legends. But yeah, I'm definitely willing to jump back in.
If there's no business hips,
then they're not getting my business.
I'm not open for business.
I'm pretty sure there's no business hips. Shillelagh says, oh, he just talks about how Panic Button is involved with the port. Also, since it's coming to Switch a few weeks after Season 8 has started, Switch players will be able to get 30 free levels for their Season 8 Battle Pass. And for the first 2 weeks after launch, Switch owners will get double XP. So they're doing a good job of getting Switch owners caught up with everybody on Season 8. So you don't have to worry about being behind everybody and having no chance of catching up. We don't need to do that. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. We have the top 15 Switch games in Europe for January 2021. And I'll start with number 15. Solitaire and 50 other games. 14 is Cuphead. 13 is Smash Bros. Ultimate. 12 is Just Dance 2021. 11 is Pokemon Sword. 10 is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. 9 is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. 8 is Super Mario Party. 7 is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, Complete Edition. 6 is Mario Kart 8. 5 is Hades. 4 is Stardew Valley. 3 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. 2 is Minecraft. And 1 is Among Us. There's your top 15 in Europe. Entropy says, are these for European countries only or all of Europe? I want to say most of Europe. I could get the official breakdown, but I'd have to look at the release. I'm sorry. North America, what did we get this week? We got Arcade Archives, Halley's Comet, Blue Fire, Bubble Bubble Ocean, oh no, Byakutai, Samurai Boys, Canarium, Contract Killers, Day Life in Japan, Pixel Art Jigsaw Puzzle, Digerati Best Series, Flying Hero X, Football Cup 2021, Gmode Archives number 29, Zanuck, Glittering Sword, Gray Skies, A War of the Worlds story, Haven, which is probably the most notable one so far. Well, it's definitely the most notable one so far. Hero U, Rogue to Redemption, Hexagon Defense, Jumping Stack Ball, Kowloon High. Nope, let me try it again. Kowloon High School Chronicle, Lost Lands Dark Overlord, My Universe Pets Clinic, Cats and Dogs. Nuts. Odysseus Cosmos and his Robot Quest. Silver Chains, Skyforge, Space Blast Zom, a matching game. Station Manager, for you, Vitamin J. Turrican Flashback, and Urban Street Fighting. That sounds suspiciously like Urban Champion.
Urban Street Fighting. Wait a minute here.
We got to look it up to see what it looks like. And 3DS got Bricks Defender 4.
I actually saw that on the coming soon page on the eShop, and you should look it up.
I'm gonna while you're reading yours. Shillelagh says, I vet My Universe Pets Clinic Cats and Dogs will go down as one of the all-time classics of gaming of any generation. Maybe I can get Name of Austin in on that. We're gonna skip that next top story and just go to you, Nikki Hill, if that's okay.
Sure. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine.
I had to get off my Wi-Fi because everything just crapped out. I'm not on the chat or anything either.
What happened? Whoa. What was that?
That's me blown out of my mouth because I've got no idea.
Oh,
I was going to say, it sounded like a modem firing up.
That was you doing that?
Yeah.
That was impressive.
I just went... Anyway, you going to lead me in or am I just going to do it?
Well, Josh...
Not a long list.
Josh is having some trouble.
Josh.
It's Josh's fault. It's Josh's fault.
Go power down. Take a nap. Europe.
So for the next European releases, here's Nicky sweet releases.
Is that what I sound like?
Thank you, too. Hey, Josh, you're obsolete.
Wow. That's mean.
And he can't even talk back. This is great. So the week of February 4th, Europe, what did you get? So is it RE0 or RE0? Because I would say that's RE.
I believe it's RE.
Okay. RE0. Starting life in another world. The Prophecy of the Throne. That's all one title. Blow up monsters. You either blow monsters up or you blow them up like balloons.
Adults only.
Blue Fire. It's real hot. Getting real hot. Bubble Ocean. Bubble.
Boring.
Byakutai, Samurai Boys. Where's all my Samurai Boys at? All right. Crestage.
Very, very nice. Perfect.
Cultist Simulator. I feel like I said this last week, or maybe that was coming out in America. Initiate Edition. Cultist. Digerati Bestsellers. Flying Hero X, or perhaps it's 10. Football Cup 2021. Yeah. Sorry?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Glad you can join us, Josh. Glittering Sword.
Boring.
Gray Scott. Sorry?
Boring.
Okay. Gray Skies. A War of the World story. Habroxia 2. Does the rest of the world know or enjoy the War of the World story?
No, not at all.
Okay. Because that the original one took place in New Jersey, right?
Shut up. I don't care.
Okay, he's fresh because I called him obsolete.
Yeah, you're picking up on it. He's very angry.
Pull the plug. Habroxia 2. Haven. How to Take Off Your Mask remastered. I guess we all need to know that, right?
Yeah,
it
means
there's a first one and then they remastered it.
It means socially take off your social mask. Mom Brain, that this speaker has to be plugged in.
Oh, the social mask.
Until you get closer.
Yes, it's like a visual novel thing.
Jumping Stack Ball. Magical Maze.
Nuts. Oh.
Nuts.
magical maze from the cornfield in the next row. What did he say?
What is that from?
Come on, Nikki Hill.
No, it's half from
Say it-
Silence of the
say it-
Lambs.
yeah. Multiple
And half
names.
from nothing.
I wasn't thinking about that. Okay. Raw Meat, are you interested in that Clarice show?
I talked to Mom Brain about it, and she got very angry. I was willing to give it a shot. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's not produced by the same guy. It's on CBS, not NBC.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna check it out when it comes out. I'm nosy. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
In the trailer, it looks like there's some very difficult to look at images. Graphic, I guess.
I mean, it's CBS and they cater to old people, so I can't imagine it being all that great. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So Nuts, NUTS, Nuts.
That's a game about watching squirrels. That's not a lie. You have like a surveillance system set up to watch squirrels.
Moving on.
Okay, Josh.
Did you know
thank
Josh hates squirrels?
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
he hates them.
Part of the
They
lore.
get all up in his wiring.
I guess so. Yeah,
exactly.
they
He's afraid they're gonna make like a nest in his chest
gnaw his
cavity.
wires.
Yeah,
Tree rats.
exactly.
A chest nest. Is that what we refer to as? Can we refer to chest hair as a chest nest now?
Yes.
Chest nest.
Nestle in the old chest nest.
Why would you say that?
I'm sorry, Josh.
Why not, Josh? Why not?
Nikki Hill, please.
I know. Josh, this game's for Josh. It's Odysseus Cosmos and his robot quest.
There you go. Hell yeah, Josh.
Sure, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Skyforge, Station Manager, Super Meatball, and Urban Street Fighting.
Super
Everybody knows Urban Street Fighting.
meatball. Spicy meatball. God rest her soul. What a great woman.
She was so great.
What was the name of that show? Come on, Nikki Hill. You know the name of that show.
Small Town.
Small Town Security sounds right. Yeah. Look up Small Town Security Spicy Meatball. Holy crap.
Oh man.
One of the greatest things that's ever been on TV.
They're not the guys that do the pizza where they're like
No.
yelling at each other.
Well, yeah, Nikki Hill, you remember that pizza argument? That's from a different show, but
Yeah, I don't remember. What are they arguing about, though? Yeah.
the guy took a
slice you
slice
get?
from one side of the table, and the guy said, "That's my side of the pizza. You shouldn't be taking it from that side."
The important arguments we have in reality television.
Shillelagh says, "I Haven a clue what to buy this week." Yeah, Haven is the big one. If you don't know what Haven is, it's made by the developers who made Fury. And Fury is awesome and has an awesome soundtrack. And Haven also has an awesome soundtrack. It's done by the same guy. I forget the composer's name, but he makes really good music. Haven is about this couple that lives on, I believe, a mostly abandoned planet. And they're just trying to survive. And then something ends up invading and they have to fight for their home. I have not started playing it yet, but I'm very excited. Huh?
Been doing a video of it like a long time ago, and I don't know, something about it. I just wasn't interested. Maybe if I gave it a try, but
that ain't happening.
Well, yeah. For the story that I got from it was the two people were about to get busy and the power went out. And that was about it.
Well, yeah, that they did have a teaser trailer. That's true. That the couple is in love with one another. So
they're themselves teased.
So you saw two people in love and you're like, nope, not for me.
Well, no, I mean,
like fantasy.
Maybe I was upset about that trailer because I saw two people about to make love, and then they just like, oh, the power went out. We can't do it now. We got to get some power juice. And so then I was like, well, this is.
Are you okay?
What a great use of that sound clip. Holy crap. Well, Nikki Hill, if you want to see them make sweet, passionate love, you're going to have to buy the game.
I'll just watch it on YouTube.
You could do that too. All right, moving on. We're not going to do that one. We're going to do this one though. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy has hit a milestone. Capcom updated their million sellers list, and they had one new entry on that list, and it was Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. It has officially crossed the 1 million sold mark, which is quite good considering the Phoenix Wright franchise is very unique and you don't really have anything else like it in the game industry. It's certainly not for everybody, but it has plenty of fans. So it's sold over 1 million, which is great to see. I really like the Phoenix Wright games. They are very interesting and fun. Obviously, they play up courtroom theatrics and it's not exactly realistic, but it is a lot of fun. So hopefully these numbers show Capcom that it's time for a new Phoenix Wright game. Giant Reggie says, move over, Immortals. It looks like the better Phoenix is rising, and he's right on the money. Oh, man. He gets better every week.
Speaking of Phoenix.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no.
The Tweagle. Come on now.
We have the tweet associated with this story, which people are very excited about. It got 1,300 likes, and we have a comment. Lavender says, I would normally agree with this, but I really didn't like either game after Apollo Justice. There you go.
I need you to go into the Discord and see what Anastasia Beaverhausen posted. And Colma.
Oh my God. Wow. Hello, Super Sanchez. Sorry for everybody who jumped in the chat that I didn't say hi to. I couldn't do it all. Hello, Steister. That parakeet is beautiful.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
You know, if they weren't so noisy, I feel like we could have a bird.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of like, I want a bird to like nibble on papers and make a nest and put it in their tail feathers.
Now that we talk about this, I dreamed about birds last night and they were pecking at my face.
Okay.
Or maybe it was yesterday while I was napping.
Get a bird.
All right, moving on. We're not going to do that one. We'll do this one. Everybody wants to know when Nintendo's going to show like their 2021 software lineup. We know about Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. That is next week. We know about Bravely Default 2, which is, I don't know, is that end of this month? I don't remember. We know Monster Hunter Rise, which Nintendo is handling publishing duties for. That is March. So the next couple months are spoken for. But what about the rest of the year? When are we going to find out? Nintendo's president was asked by investors during the investor Q&A, and he says this. Our software lineup for the next fiscal year is a topic we will discuss at the appropriate time. We've already announced plans, blah, 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 blah. As always, we are preparing a variety of software titles for consumers in the coming fiscal year. So if you wanted to know when, Nintendo's not telling you. You got to wait. But obviously, you would imagine sometime, let's say, by the end of March, we'll have a better idea. Now, Nintendo could go back to old Nintendo Direct style and give us a long outlook of what's to come, or they could do what they've been doing recently, which is like, hey, surprise, here's this game you knew nothing about, and it's coming out next month. I don't know what they're going to do. Everybody wants to know what the hell's going to happen with The Legend of Zelda, because the series is celebrating, I don't know, what, 35th anniversary, maybe? And everybody's like, what are they going to do? What's the big thing? What's the exciting Legend of Zelda news? We all know Breath of the Wild 2 is in the works. Are we getting that in 2021? Are we going to get some other kind of package to celebrate the series anniversary? Is there a brand new game we don't know anything about? I don't know, but I would imagine Nintendo. What's that?
Weren't there some leaks about Breath of the Wild?
There was one yesterday, but it was quickly debunked. Although it wasn't really like, I shouldn't say debunked. We thought it was new and it wasn't new. So,
because I'm like,
hey, what happened?
Expecting that, like, if there's a leak for anything, they're just going to be like, well, we're done with that.
Yeah, no, I don't think they would cancel game leaks like that. So yeah, I would imagine we'll find out some kind of software stuff by the end of March, at least for games that we don't know anything about or games that we haven't heard release dates for. So, like I said, Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid, Bayonetta, something Zelda related.
Flicky 2.
Sokar says, whether it's a direct or not, I hope they have a good list of games to show this year. That is the rumor we've heard from multiple credible sources that Nintendo's going to have a big year this year. And I would imagine some of that has to be tied to Legend of Zelda. There's no way Nintendo's going to let this anniversary pass without doing something special for Legend of Zelda, especially after Breath of the Wild is the best-selling Legend of Zelda game ever. They're not going to be like, well, we did a good job there. Let's not celebrate the franchise's anniversary. It's crazy that Zelda has always sold well, but 30 plus years after it debuted, it sees its best-selling game. Shows the longevity of the franchise. What do we got here? We already talked about that. No plans to announce a new model.
Shut up. I don't care.
Thank you, Josh. That's very nice of you. Oh my God, are we done? Is that all the top stories? Yeah, that's it. All right, we're done. We did it. Mom Brain, you're back just in time for news to end.
Wow, how exciting.
How was your concert?
It was really good. Young kids. Like all of them were pretty young kids.
Did they all suck?
No.
What was your favorite beat?
Hey, give it to us.
Ch, boom, boom, ch, boom, ch, boom, boom, ch.
I get down with that.
They did We Will Rock You.
Somebody did do We Will Rock You. Somebody did Watermelon Sugar. They really they worked hard. You could tell that they were all really focused, and when they were finished, they got to talk about how they thought they did, and they were all really proud of themselves.
I did very bad, and I'm terrible.
A couple kids did original compositions that they wrote, which I thought was cool.
Anybody get up there and do like some Aphex Twin style stuff? Like,
well, one kid, the grand finale of the drummers, after which I logged off. Oh yeah, Coma. Did a really, it was his own composition, and he did a really great job. It was cool.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. Good. I'm sorry for the kids that this had to be, for many of them, this was their first recital, and that it had to be online. I feel bad for them, but.
You could hear them. That's the important
Yeah.
I feel like that might be a little bit better for some people too. Like some people might have a harder time in front of a crowd, in front of a room of parents and family or something.
I was thinking the same thing. I'd be relieved that it was at home.
Yeah.
You can also leave without creating a scene.
Yeah. It was nice to be able to just I stepped back slowly. I after my kiddo went, I held up a sign that said great job, so-and-so. And then I turned my camera off and stayed for a little while. And then I just.
Should hold up a lighter?
Backed out. I should have.
All right. What do we got here? Vitamin G. What have you been playing?
Oh, you know what I've been playing.
Well, go right ahead.
I'm still playing Fortnite, of course, most nights. And I've been playing a buttload of Hades. I love this game. I love this game. You know what's funny too is 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I think it was Kirby was like, I'm a little bit ahead of you, and you can change the difficulty, blah blah blah. He was so far ahead of me. He was laughably far ahead of me.
I didn't want to toot my own horn or anything.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead.
It took me probably 10 or 15 more tries than most everyone in this group to complete a run. And but I did it the other day, and it was awesome. And now I can see where when everyone was like, the story's so cool, blah blah blah, it was already cool, and now it's super super interesting. And I just can't wait to keep trying. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing between working and playing Fortnite. Whenever I can squeeze in some gaming, I'm doing Hades.
Yeah, Hades will do it, man. That's like we were saying, you just do a run and you're like, well, I'll do one more run. I'll do one more, and then time flies.
Next thing I know, it's 3 hours later. And I'm
yeah.
I have 2 children. What am I doing?
I mean about doing a run.
You run through the game and try and beat it. It's a roguelite.
You basically have one. You get as far as you can with the tools that you have and with the lives that you have, and when you're done, you have to start over. So that's why we say runs.
Gotcha.
You said gotcha like you don't believe them.
No, I'm just thinking about the runs that I do.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we all know those. I'm running
Solitaire
out of toilet
runs?
paper.
And the runs that you have.
The runs that you get.
Solitaire runs. I like that, Momry. So that's it, Vitamin G?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I do a lot of puzzles with my child.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, big ones.
Jigsaw
puzzles. They're like
Ooh.
big floor jigsaw puzzles of dinosaurs and planets.
Wow, that sounds great. What's the biggest number?
He's doing 40-piece puzzles by himself. Like,
Whoa.
I'm not even helping him at all.
He's 14 years old.
He's 3.5. It's pretty cool. It's impressive. Like the other day, he literally did the entire puzzle himself. It was awesome.
It's pretty cool and impressive because I can't get them done, but he can.
Yeah, I'm like, what's a planet?
All right. Well, let's go to Kirby. Kirby, what have you been playing?
I also played a little more 80s. Actually, I was just playing it. I'm playing it right now, actually. But yeah, since I, quote unquote, beat the game, I've only run through the game like maybe once or twice more, and I was worried. I was worried for a little bit that I wouldn't want to keep playing at this point. I was worried that I would run out of interesting stuff to do, but luckily that's not the case. There's still stuff to do, so I'm happy to discover that. And I don't have a whole lot more to add about Hades, except I'm glad that both Vitamin G and Do have been playing it and enjoying it as much as I've been.
Spoiler alert.
Well, then if you're done, then I'll jump over to Do and he can continue.
I mean, that's all I have to say about Hades. I played some other stuff.
Oh, go ahead then.
I think the game I played the most this past week was Grindstone on my phone. I keep wanting to call it Tombstone.
Because I love the pizza.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm a lot more comfortable playing that game now. It's gotten a lot easier for me, and I'm like getting super addicted to it as well.
Hey Kirby.
Yes.
What do you want on your Grindstone?
What else? Oh yeah, I played a demo for Dew's other favorite game, Immortals Phoenix Rising, I believe it's called. I only played it for a little bit. I don't know. It looks okay, but I don't know. Why not just play Breath of the Wild again, I guess?
Booyah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Other than that, Romy, for some reason I played a lot of demos this week. I played a demo for Dragon Quest 11.
Oh man, there's a demo for that? It's got to be so long.
It is. I've been playing it for like over 3 hours.
And what do you think?
Honestly, I was kind of bored for most of it. I mean, I don't know how much more there is left in the demo, but I don't know. I was kind of bored, but I kept playing it, so I don't know. I did like the part where like you first get attacked by the little like blue slimes, and because they're like the most non-threatening monster ever.
Where does the demo? What are you doing? Does it start you at the beginning of the game?
I think so. Yeah, when you're like climbing that mountain.
Oh yeah.
In like your own village.
It starts you right at the. Well, I guess since the demo's long, you get to. Yeah, I mean it's an RPG that's like tens if not hundreds of hours long.
And there's lots of really long cutscenes too. I'm assuming that's what takes up most of the time.
So I'd imagine, because you get the beginning is a bit slow going, which is the same for any RPG because you got to get into it. But I don't know. It's such a weird game to do a demo for.
I know. I thought the same thing. I didn't. I just found out about the demo like a few days ago.
Oh, Drake says you can. The demo is long, and once you finish the demo, you can pick up your save data and continue in the main game, so you don't have to redo it.
Well, that was thoughtful. Yeah, I'm sure the game picks up after another 18 hours or so.
I mean, I remember the mountain in the beginning and all that stuff, and you got to go through town and all that. But
yeah, I didn't finish telling my story. So I did like the part where you get attacked by slimes, and they're the first monster you meet in the game, and they're super cute looking, and the person you're with is like, oh my god, monsters! They're
smiling at me.
You're with this, you're with some young woman, and she's terrified of these super cute looking little things.
Well, they can kill you, Kirby.
Not really. They can jump at you and maybe.
Weren't the gremlins cute? Those guys were pretty nasty.
See,
the Mogwais were cute.
Gremlins were kind of cute.
That gremlin in the movie theater eating the popcorn, he's pretty cute.
Yeah. I think that's all I played.
Okay. All right, Do. It's your time to shine.
Booyah. So, what did we play? We played some Fortnite. Played some Mancala and 50 other games. May I get a drum roll, please? Come on, brain.
Of course.
I beat Deadlight Director's Cut. I was talking about it as much as I could last week. It's really good. A lot of fun. Love the gameplay. Love a game that's set up like that. And I still feel the same way about the voice acting. But what are you going to do? It was a good game. I'd recommend it. Yes, I'm 8 years late. I started playing for the heck of it. I don't know why. I started playing Resident Evil for the Nintendo Switch. This is the GameCube remake from 2002.
This would be the I believe 27th time Capcom has released.
Yeah, isn't that insane? I mean, I remember when the game first came out, and at the time it was only 5 years behind the original Resident Evil. Now it's it's so far away, these games. But it's funny because it's a game and a series that I've played so much, and I know it like the back of my hand. Yes, I fell right back into it, but it's finally, after 24 years or something, it's finally starting to become an antique to me. It's been an antique forever, but just the tank controls and the presentation, I really love the game. It'll always have a special part in my heart, but it's a little long in the tooth now. On the Switch especially, it plays pretty bad. I've played this game on the GameCube. I've played it on the PlayStation. I think it was PlayStation 4. And now the Switch. Look, no one has any reason to play this game as much as I did. But yeah, the Switch version kind of chugs. There's some rooms where the frame rate dips, and it's just a slow moving, crappy port.
Good job, Capcom.
The doors. I'm sorry?
I said good job, Capcom.
Yeah, the loading is terrible. The doors have to how the classic open the door for suspense loading screen.
Yeah.
Well, that's way longer. It's twice as long as it's ever been. So not a great showing for Resident Evil on the Switch, but hey, let's face it, I have this game on every system that it exists on, and they got me. They win. So, but yeah, I'm almost to the end. Just made it to the laboratory, but like I said, I can do the game with like my eyes closed. So, still love it. Still got a special spot in the heart, but it's just a weird thing. So last week I was talking about getting Hades. Thank goodness I did. I've been putting it off for far too long, and it is fun. That it's just so fun. You can just play it and play it and play it. I mean, I know that's what everybody was saying about the game, so why didn't I believe them right from the start? But yeah, it's just really, really well done. I wanted to kind of address the voice acting, because we talked about it last week, and I was kind of like, I hadn't played Hades at all up until that point, and I was kind of like, how the heck did Hades win the voice acting? Like Last of Us 2 is obviously the pinnacle of voice acting ever, that kind of thing. I was being really smug about it. And I have to say, voice acting and presentation here in Hades is unbelievable. Very, very well done. There's not a weak link in the cast that I've found yet. Every single person is excellent. It's the story is told sprinkled out nice and slow, like it doesn't get in the way of the gameplay, and the gameplay doesn't get in the way of the story, and the story is still interesting, pulls you through it. I still like The Last of Us 2 as far as voice acting and how it had an impact on me as a player, but totally deserved as far as the awards that this game got.
The dulcet tones of Daddy Joel.
We all love Daddy Joel.
Oh, Daddy Joel.
But yeah, so I'm really, really enjoying it. I wish I was playing it right now.
Oh, well, go right ahead.
One thing that I really like with the game too is the music. The music is excellent. It's another one of those things where it's like it'll be very thematic. Like there'll be themes that they introduce in the music earlier in the level, and then by the time you get to the boss, you've got like a crazy, like ramped up to 11 boss music version of that theme, and a lot of them, like a couple of them, I think are directly influenced by like certain things. Like I don't know if you, Kirby, maybe you have heard this, maybe not, but there's one song in there that sounds just like "It's So Easy" by Guns N' Roses. Like a part, and I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to subject anyone to this, but there's a part in the song where it's like, where it very much sounds like it. And then there's another song that sounds like a Megadeth song, and I was like, man, but like they're really well done, and they're not. I've gone back and listened to the songs. They're not rip-offs or anything. It's just like there's a lot of similarities. But
yeah, which Megadeth song?
I think Five Magics, I think, is what it's called.
Okay, from Rust in Peace.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to release them. I didn't notice any of that, but you. I mean, any soundtrack that uses like a hammered dulcimer is usually pretty good. And I'm a big fan of those.
My grandfather could make you one of those if you want one.
Okay.
He's pretty talented.
But yeah, it's a crazy addictive game. It's just really well done. And every time you die, you get sent back to the House of Hades, which is just kind of like a little, like a hub world, I guess you could say. And I was expecting okay, after I die 5 times, the characters here are going to start like saying the same stuff. I've played through maybe 30 tries, which means I've talked to these characters 30 times, and they say something new each time. Like it does a great job of making you feel like you're still treading new ground even after playing so much.
Do any of them say, "This was for Marcelo"?
Unfortunately, no one said this one's for Marcelo, but I say it, so I guess that makes up for it. But yeah, so like little things like that really impressed me. One thing that I wanted to ask the group that plays the game is, do you guys play with the D-pad or with the joystick? Because I've been finding that I didn't want to do this. I like to play with the D-pad with games like this most of the time, but the D-pad wasn't cutting it on certain weapons. So like the spear or the bow, any weapon, or the gun, any of the weapons where it was more of like a long-range weapon, I had to use the joystick to fine-tune my aiming. And I was wondering if you guys had a preference, how you like to play.
I'm using joystick.
Yeah, I've been joystick the whole time.
Was it even a question for you guys? Did you start D-pad and then you said I couldn't do this, I got to do joystick?
I only use D-pad when there's, well, obviously like a traditional side scroller, but if you're doing something like Hades, I use D-pad when there's 8 directional movement, but Hades is full 360. So
yeah, I'll like maybe I'll switch over to the D-pad if it's like a 2D game, but for something like Hades, yeah, it was joystick like all the way for me.
Same here. Well, cool. I was going to, if we had the podcast 2 days ago, I would have been saying D-pad, but in the past 2 days, I become a little bit more joystick. I do go back and forth, but I'm trying to train myself to get comfortable with the joystick.
yeah, it just makes too much sense for aiming to go with the D-pad, or to not go with joystick over D-pad.
And then the only other question I had for the players of the game is, who pets Cerberus every single time?
Not every time, but I did pet him quite a bit.
I do. I'm worried that if I don't, I'm going to miss something.
Yeah, me too. I'm just like...
Does he have multiple heads?
I petted him. I would pet him a lot, like when I was first starting the game, like after the first couple of runs. But now I just do it like every now and then, just to let him know how I feel.
Just to remind him he's a good boy.
But do you guys pet all of his heads, or?
There's only one head that allows you to pet him, I think.
All right.
I think that's what the game told me.
Yeah, out of the 4 heads, you can only pet one.
Aren't there 3 heads?
Oh, hey-oh.
I get it.
Oh, okay.
Talking about the penis, Mom Brain.
Gross.
I wonder if they have to fight over who gets to lick the... Never mind. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I could go on and on about this game, but you guys have been talking about it for weeks, and I'm just glad that I finally got into it. And it really is worth all the hype. It's one of those situations where it's worth all the hype. I honestly can't think of like one...
Hold on. Who's not muted? Who's not muted?
Sorry, that was me. What did you hear?
Are you making pizza?
It sounded like you're doing dishes or something.
Oh, no, I put a glass on the countertop, sorry.
Mom Brain was looking at me like, what is going on?
That's all you did?
Right? It sounded like a bomb was going on.
Yeah, apparently like a construction site.
I don't know. Apparently, every time I do something, it sounds like 900 times louder.
Yeah, you'll have to listen back. You'll have to listen back because it sounded like you were putting dishes in the sink, but we're like holding them above the sink and dropping them in.
I thought I heard packing tape being used.
So that's it, Du?
That's it. Thanks for letting me talk about the games I played.
Yeah. Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Hey, I played some solitaire.
Oh.
Believe it. But then I also played another game, and I finished it. And I'll tell you about it. It was The Last Campfire. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Did you finish it?
I did finish it, yeah. I looked it up. It said it was about anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to play it, and it took me over 9. I mean, time doesn't matter, right? It's all made up anyway. But I just like to keep track of where I stand in in the world. But I enjoyed it. It's not really what I was hoping for, but it was a different game. It's not Lost Winds. Although, in the very beginning, your little ember is going down a river, and there's this little curl of wind that comes past you, and I was like, I wonder, because it was the same art director, I believe, the same artist that did Lost Winds. But I realized I knew nothing about this world, like in the game. I know nothing about the worlds that I'm living in either, but I didn't really look into it, I guess. I didn't really read up about it, and I guess I was just completely in the dark as far as what's going on. I thought I knew, and I kind of knew a little bit, like you're like saving other embers and stuff like that. But I would really like to explore that a little bit more, because I don't really know. There's really not a whole lot of backstory, I guess. But I enjoyed it. My biggest issue with it was there's a lot of is that dropped frames, or like when the transitions get really sluggish and slow, and it just like starts chugging, like what you were saying too about going through the doors in Resident Evil. Like this was happening in between, like you go and you meet another Ember, or they're called Forlorn, and you go into the puzzle, and like that transition from like the world into the puzzle world is it just gets real choppy. But that was happening other times throughout the game, and I was a little upset about that. It just gets a little frustrating. But and then the other thing is, you walk up to an item and it brings up a prompt, like you push a button so that you can interact with it. But there were times where you don't have to push the button. You can just keep walking and like you'll push the object. And so because of that, it got like a couple times it just got, I pushed something too far because I was walking up to it thinking I was going to press the button and grab it and pull it backwards. And I ended up pushing it off the ledge. And now I have to like move all these other pieces again. And that's what added a lot of extra time too, is like, some of the puzzles are just, there's several little pieces, like several parts, and they all have to kind of travel a longer space on that level or whatever. So then you have to like reset everything. There's no button to reset it. You just have to go and move everything back the way it was. So that was a little frustrating, but that's just me because I just can't handle things in real life or game life.
If I ever had anything screw up in a game, I would just leave the room and come back.
There's no room.
Well, like I would go to the loading section and come back. Oh, you mean in puzzles?
Well, no, because it happened in like in the world.
Yeah.
And then it also happened in the puzzle thing, which I guess, I would have had to go all the way back to the Forlorn and click on them, and that would take me out of the puzzle, and then I can go back into it. So I didn't think of that. But whatever. I mean, I got past it. It wasn't anything. That wasn't like game ending. And I also, if I had looked it up and the game was like 15 hours, that the slowdown and the loading and everything would probably bug me more.
Uh-huh.
But I knew what I was working with, and I knew like how much more time roughly how much more time I had. So that just kept me going to get through it. But the other thing, I guess the narrator caught me off guard a little bit too. I think that's one of the things that people talk about in their reviews. I didn't really read up much, but this might ruin it for people. It might make it better for people. And I mean, I don't mean to insult the narrator at all. I think she did a really good job, and I think the way she read things really helped to like portray it, or like help me feel it a little bit more. But I couldn't stop but think that she sounded like a young female Werner Herzog. Not just the act, like she has an accent, but like the way she spoke too, like kind of caught me. Yeah. I was just like, so that's not one of the problems that I really liked.
I'm here to find the baby Yoda.
But that was spot on.
Thank you. I've been working on my Werner Herzog for years now. I bet Kirby could do a good one. I bet Kirby, give us a Werner Herzog.
I actually don't remember any of his lines.
No, say anything. It doesn't matter. Say I'm here for Baby Yoda. Say I'm looking for the Baby Yoda.
I can't do it. I don't know. Just he sounds like a German guy.
Okay, never mind.
Name of Austin did a really great one.
Yes, Name of Austin does an amazing one.
I was at Costco today, and they had those, what are they, Squishmallows? Those real popular stuff.
Yes.
They have huge Chewbacca's and Yodas.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no Werner Herzogs.
Sorry.
No plush Werner Herzogs.
That's what. Does Werner Herzog have a cameo? We can have him say "Nobody cares about me."
We'll check. I'll check after the show.
Have Name of Austin.
Well, he said he learned how to do an impression of that guy just because he spent a long time watching all the documentaries, like one after the other, and just put it together. His is really good.
Yeah, maybe if I practiced it, I would try one, but I'm not going to. Anyway, so it's a good game. Did you play it?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Did you finish it?
Yes, I did.
Did the slowdown and stuff to that kind of? I mean, you probably didn't care.
I didn't care. I noticed it in a couple spots, but it was never so bad where I was like, oh, it would be like a transition into a cutscene, or I don't really care. It didn't really bother me.
Yeah. No, it just, I don't know. Also, there's the lost journal entries.
Yes.
There's 42 total, and I finished the game with 39. I'm so upset.
Well, go back in.
No! I'm done.
Never.
I
have solitaire to play.
Yeah, I know. It's getting me.
Is that all you played?
Yeah.
No Doki Doki Panic for you?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
All right, Doki Doki Literature Club. Yes, sorry.
No, I can't play it on any of my systems, I don't think. We already talked about that.
No, we already talked about how you can.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to get my MacBook, but that I haven't even turned that on in 2 years. So.
Well, it's only a visual novel. It's not anything taxing.
Okay.
Fun fact, Nikki Hill, Doki Doki means thump, thump, my heart.
That's right. Do is right. Doki Doki is the onomatopoeia that Japan uses for the fast beating of a heart.
That would explain... no, this doesn't explain anything for me. Thank you.
my heart is.
That's what I'm going to use when I go to the
right
bathroom now. Doki Doki Dookie Dookie.
Dookie Dookie Panic. Yeah, that makes sense.
I always have Dookie Dookie Panic.
When I have Dookie Dookie, my heart is going Doki Doki.
That sounds like a medical issue. Man, when you guys crap, does anybody else's heart race a mile a minute? Do say something. Just come on mic and say something. Your phone's doing that thing.
Hello.
Okay, now mute. There we go. Mom Brain.
Yes, my dear.
Did you play anything?
I don't think so. I was busy watching The Young and the Restless.
The Young and the Restless, the game.
All right, Mom Brain, thanks.
My pleasure.
Please don't do this to me.
What'd you play?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I don't think I played anything but Fortnite this week. The week was so busy with news, I just played Fortnite, and I think that's it. Yeah, because I didn't go downstairs to play anything, so that means no Xbox and no PlayStation. Yeah, I just played Fortnite, and that was it. I have such a list of stuff I want to play, but I haven't. Well, next week I'll certainly be busy playing something, because if you don't know, a very special game comes out next week. That game is Honey Pop 2. Honey Pop 2 launches on Monday, everybody. Get ready.
What?
Yep. Monday, baby.
Game of the year. Calling it now.
Can we get voice acting of the year?
There are like tens of thousands of voiced lines, so
can we live? We need to do one of those like house party things I don't know. I just want to play this with you guys.
Yeah, I
That's all
know.
I'm saying.
I've been trying to think of how we can get back to get together somehow to play that game. I desperately want to play it with everybody. Yeah. I don't know what we can do. I can easily live stream like the gameplay to you guys. That's not a problem. I could do that. We can make it work. We can make it happen. Just I need to make sure everybody at home has a pillow to put on their lap.
Kyle Lanquin says, "Tell my girlfriend to sleep in the other room. Honey Pop 2 is coming, and so am I."
Oh man, I can't wait. I seriously can't wait. That first game was so much fun. I am a sucker for match 3 games and hentai, of course, but match 3 games. I really like match 3 games, and that was a really good. That was a really well done one.
Ironic how it's a match 3 game, and yet there aren't any opportunities to have a menage a trois.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Honey Pop 2 does allow for that.
All right.
You go on double dates now with 2 women at once, and you have to figure out where to focus your attention. But if you're a good enough match 3er, you can enjoy the company of both women at the same time.
Just like in real life.
That's right. Yeah, that's what guys say on dates to women. They're like, "Oh, so tell me a little bit about yourself," and you say, "Bell, fire."
I play Candy Crush. I don't know if that does anything for you.
That's a big one for women. Women love guys that play Candy Crush, right, Mom Brain?
Tasty.
All right, so that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it. All right, moving on. Let's do our questions. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo. They can be about video games or whatever the hell you want. This week's question comes from Robot Face. He says, "I, Robot Face, have a question for your flesh faces to answer, if you would be so kind. I, like you, love most in-game music, but as most of us have done, eventually we put on some tunes and turn the game volume down, sometimes leaving the sound effects on. But I digress. My question is, are there any games that you've played so many times while listening to a specific album or genre that the two have become intrinsically bound to each other? Like you find yourself humming these songs while playing, or perhaps you're suddenly visualizing the game while listening to that album, or even just a song. For me, it's Bionic Commando and Prolonging the Magic by Cake. I don't know how many times I played through that game while listening to this album, but it was so much that even a screenshot of Bionic Commando gets me singing Cool Blue Reason. Thanks. Love you guys. I have never done that. I have turned off the music in a game. I've turned off the music in a game, but I have never put on other music when I play a game. It's either sound effects, if I hate the music, so I'll do sound effects only, or it's just the music of the game, and that's it.
Yeah, same as you. I can't concentrate on anything if I've got music in the background.
Nikki Hill, you listen a little something while you're playing solitaire?
I can't concentrate when I'm trying to just do what I'm supposed to do that's right in front of me. So, no.
Well, Robot Face, Kirby, same with you?
I'm sure I've done it like every now and then, but not often enough to like remember anything specific. I don't know. I guess that's like the kind of thing I'll do if I'm like playing something on my phone, and it's like a really like simple like puzzle game or something, and maybe I want to like hear some music. That's when I'll do that.
I guess this is more of a you thing, Robot Face. I know a lot of people will play games and stream something else at the same time, which boggles my mind, because to me that's like watching a movie and also streaming something else at the same time. It's something I would never do. Like, the game is getting my attention. I don't know. I'm not. If the game isn't, like, I feel I would only do that if the game wasn't entertaining me, and then I wouldn't play the game.
I've thought about it. I've thought about it when we're playing Fortnite, because it's pretty mindless and all we're doing is talking.
Plus, we got downtime in between.
Yeah, so I've thought about it. I mean, music is. I hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
And great album, by the way. Cake Prolonging the Magic is an incredible album. So happy to hear that other people listen to Cake.
Mom Brain's a Cake fan.
I like Cake.
But I don't know. I've thought about it. Music, I hear what he's saying about music, though. It's like it transports you right back. I remember reading a book or a series of books in high school, and I was listening to the self-titled Third Eye Blind album, and every time it would end, it was a CD player like right above my head, and I would just reach up and press play again. And I like forever. This album reminds me of this series of books that I was reading.
It was Harry Potter.
That I can't do that. I can't read anything if there's any other. Like I have a hard time reading when there's like people in the vicinity talking or doing stuff. Like I also can't sleep when Raw Meat is typing.
That's funny because I prefer it. Like if I'm gonna like lay down and take a nap, I lay down in his office because I like the sound of him like working.
There is the infamous story of Nikki Hill and I being out in California for some video game thing, and Nikki Hill could not sleep because I was typing, so he went and I believe took a pillow and went and slept in a bathtub, or at least tried to.
No. I sat in the bathtub to write a review for Professor Layton because I was trying to write a review while you were typing other stuff.
Oh, I thought you slept in there.
I don't think I slept in there. I went in there to write the review for sure.
I also remember you getting...
I wake up and I just said, "You're not even typing words. You're just smacking the keys."
I remember that. Yes. I also remember you getting very furious with Buddy the podcast dog when you were trying to sleep and he was licking his paws.
Well, he did do a lot of licking.
Yes, and I do that with my dog too. Like I don't, I get up and I ask her, I'm like, "What are you even looking at anymore?"
Well, lick her paws before you go to bed, and then she won't have to do it.
Look at my feet.
What is this?
You've never seen in the TikTok with that music?
I have never.
It's a song about
we're on two different.
When there's nothing left to eat.
No, yours is like 99% animal stuff. I have animals, old people falling down. The good stuff. I followed America's Funniest Videos account, so it's like, okay, we know what kind of person you are. Show me somebody like falling off of a bike or an old person falling down the stairs.
Terrible. Although I do often get children hurting themselves, like, falling or running into walls.
Oh, man, it's good. Thank you for the question, Robot Face. We also have our Patreon question. Hey, Mom Brain.
Yeah.
Did you know that you can join Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. Thank you, Billy. Today's Patreon question comes from Steel Diver. He says 2 important questions this week. Number 1, are you familiar with the anime visual novel When They Cry, also known as Higurashi? I recently started going through the original anime ahead of the remake or sequel. I am very familiar with it, but I have not experienced any of it for myself. It's one of those ones that I've heard a lot about, but never got to check out myself. But yes, I do know of it. And I'm going to guess Vitamin G's answer is the same for everybody else here. No one has heard of it.
That's correct.
Not any visual novel fans here, I think. I don't think anybody.
I would enjoy a visual novel. Didn't Nikki Hill suggest one?
I was going to say, if anybody's going to play a visual novel, it'll be Nikki Hill.
I did that one, If Found.
Yeah.
Yeah, see... Well, yeah, you said that was very much a visual novel. Like you're not really doing any traditional gameplay stuff, right? Very little of it.
All you're doing is it's like a touch screen. So I did it handheld, and you just you swipe the screen to erase things. Yeah. Yeah.
See, like even that's more gameplay than a visual novel. A visual novel, you make decisions and stuff like that, but it's all through text.
Well, what's a visual? Well, what about like 999?
No, don't you solve puzzles in that?
I don't remember.
I think you solve puzzles.
I remember you referring to that series as a visual novel.
It's definitely close to a visual novel. There's a lot of reading in that, but just a pure visual novel has no gameplay mechanics outside of selecting text.
And Dookie Dookie Literature Club has gaming in it.
No.
So that's just
There's one element that involves like a diary where you make selections.
a diarrhea in Dookie Dookie literature.
Yeah, you make selections in a diary. It's like multiple choice things where it's like which word best fits this situation, and you pick those. But outside of that, it's a visual novel.
Gotcha. Okay.
You're my only. Yes.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. I played 999 as well, and there's a lot of puzzle solving in there.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest thing I've ever played to a visual novel.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that. I
Yeah.
remembered like keypad puzzles being in 999, or at least one of those entries in the franchise. Nikki Hill, yeah, you're really my only hope here for Doki Doki Literature Club.
I mean, I watched it played.
Yeah, that's why you can't do it.
Okay.
Number 2, have you ever had what you thought was a fart but turned into something more? Thanks for your podcast every week. Sincerely, your Steel Diver. Mom Brain and I talk about this a lot because I have never had that happen, and I don't understand how people have that happen.
Well, then you've never lived? I don't know. No, that happened to me once. Do and I worked at the same restaurant for a while, and I wish I could show you the facial expression that I made when it happened to me. But yeah, that happened to me while I was working, and thank God it didn't become. It wasn't like what I thought it was. You know, like I went to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I don't have to like change my pants. Like it's not like a complete train wreck. But yeah, that happened to me. That's the only time it ever happened to me.
Did Do join you in solidarity?
I asked, and he said, "No way."
Did he let you poop in his pants?
I mean, Do, I don't think I even need to ask the question here.
Yeah, I have. And you know what, RMC? Get off your high horse, because one day it is going to happen to you, and you're going to be wondering what the heck happened. And no, we're not going to come to your aid and say, no, it's a normal thing that happens to people. We're going to make you sweat it out and think that you're some old decrepit man who's falling apart.
I'm not saying it will never happen to me. I'm just saying it hasn't happened to me. So I'm confused as to how it happens.
Look, I'm not jealous that it hasn't happened to you. I'm not upset that it hasn't happened to you. I'm upset that you were like, I have no idea how anyone could have it happen to them. How would they have it happen to them? It's not like you're like, today I'm going to poop out a fart. Yeah, I wasn't standing up there like pushing as hard as I could. It just happened.
Like a little kid, like standing in the corner with his diaper, like his face all scrunched.
Yeah. I wasn't like actively like pushing.
Nikki Hill, I'm going to guess you're also part of this club.
Wait, what's the question? I thought the question is, have you ever had like a close call?
Have you ever had what you thought was a fart, but it turned into something more?
Oh,
it's a very straightforward question, Nikki Hill.
No, for some reason I was thinking.
Answer the question.
Did you ever think that your fart was something more, and it really wasn't?
Oh, so you're disappointed.
He always thinks his fart is something more.
That is true. You do always think you crapped your pants.
That man doesn't fart without saying, "Oh, I better check my pants. I think I pooped myself." Like,
I like to be careful.
You know how Do says, like, "But this week it's
true." Wait a minute.
Nikki Hill is like, "But this time it really is poop."
You like to be careful. If you're saying that to us, then you're already past the point of being careful. You think you've ruined it.
I think I've ruined it.
Your pants. If you're like, uh-oh, or oh no, or I think I pooped my pants, that's not being careful. You would get up and go to the bathroom before you did that. You're actively being reckless.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you're just, your area is warm or something, or like a warm.
Your butt cheeks is warm.
Your bathing suit area.
Yeah,
my area is warm.
There's a warm breeze from yourself, and like you get nervous. Like, oh, what is that warmth? Is that just air? Was there moisture in that? So then I got to check. But in recent, it's probably happened to me. I mean, why would I be so worried now? You know?
Nikki Hill, you didn't understand the question, but don't worry. Fluffernutter also has an alternative view. Fluffernutter says, I thought it was talking about turning into something more like blossoming romantically into a relationship.
Yeah, I thought it was a fart, but it was really true love.
That's gotta be a song.
Well, listen,
I
you
thought
can't
it was a fart, but it was true love.
You can't have true love unless you're both comfortable enough to
Grab
break
yourselves.
You may have already broken bread together, but until you break wind together, it's not.
Well, there you go.
You had me at.
I think you got your answer.
You had me at, oh no.
All right, that was a good one. Mom Brain,
Yeah,
it is time. We have arrived at the music section. Are you prepared?
I am prepared with music.
Are you? Are you plugged in?
No.
Yeah. So.
I mean, like, I thought you meant like, did I get music ready?
Well, I
And
know you
that-
got music ready.
And that I did. So, let's start there.
Send your music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh. I got music.
Okay. All right. We did it. Send your music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
First song comes from Char. Or Char. It's playing.
Call of Duty.
Oh, here it comes. It's very quiet. Oh. It makes me feel like Fez, but it's not Fez.
It's not Fez.
Oh. What was it? There was another game that used this style sound. God.
Pixel Junk?
No.
Eden?
Is this Switch?
Yes.
Man, I remember playing this game and I was like, oh, somebody else is doing that kind of sound like Fez, because I really like that, but I can't remember what it is. It's not first party, I can tell you that.
I do not believe it is.
Grease?
No.
Or Della?
Oh, is it Nikki Hill, it was a cinematic platformer. I showed it to you and it wasn't super long ago, but it was
Mosaic?
What'd you say?
Mosaic?
No. I don't think you played
You
it.
just beat it, Nikki Hill. You just beat it. What's the one you just beat? In the Shadows?
No. God damn it.
Shady part of me, but no.
I don't know. Go ahead.
It is
If it's that game, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Hyper Light Drifter
Yeah, I've wanted to play that and I never got around to it.
on the Switch. This one comes to us from the one, the only, Coma. Oh,
Never
dear.
heard of them.
Pokemon.
Just have to deal with a little bit of an ad. 2, 1. Here we go.
Well, it's Coma, so why don't I guess by saying his number one favorite game, Balan Wonderworld?
No.
Okay. Man,
That boxing game?
that boxing game? What are you talking about? Fitness boxing?
Yeah, sure.
It's not a boxing game to my knowledge.
Is it Switch?
Yeah.
All right. He loves music games. Cole loves music games. Let's guess. Fuser?
No.
Is it some weeaboo stuff?
Probably.
Okay. Something about this seems vaguely familiar.
this that like 3D sword game where you like cut blocks?
Beat Saber?
It is not.
Nah, it's only on VR right now. It's got that vibe, without a doubt. Is it a music game?
Mm-hmm. It's rhythm
Oh,
action
God.
adventure.
Okay. Oh, man, I love music-based games. Rhythm action adventure? I don't know. Just go. I'm going to know the name. Let's just say it.
No Straight Roads.
Oh, another one I haven't played yet. That's kind of new, though.
Raw, I think we all know the name after she says it.
And Colma also says, I hope this song makes RMC play it.
Yeah, I really like that song. You're right.
So that was from Colma, and it was No Straight Roads. This one... These are looking a little funny over here. This one comes from Freddie Fro.
Oh, stop it. This is Hades.
It is. All right, so that was Hades, and it came from Freddie Fro.
Throwing us a bone there, Freddie Fro.
That's right.
Thank you.
This one comes from Ed Boy.
This is a Kirby game.
Yes.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland?
No.
Kirby's Triple Deluxe?
No.
Kirby. Kirby Star Allies. Whatever it's called.
No.
Sticker Star.
No.
Kirby Canvas Curse.
No.
Kirby. What system?
Woolly World.
Kirby's Woolly World.
Cube.
Oh, Air Ride.
Yes. Absolutely. It is Kirby Air Ride, and that's from Ed Boy. This one comes from Xeno Emblem.
This has... let me give it a second.
Cyber Shadow.
All right, this has... Can I have the system?
Switch.
Ay. It originally had a Sega feel, but I don't feel that anymore.
What kind of music does Astral Chain have?
Not this. Man, I don't know. There's so much stuff on Switch. I'll skip it. I don't know. Oh boy, is it first party?
No.
Is it Sega then?
I don't know who it is.
Well, then why are you like, are you sure?
I don't want you to give up, that's all.
All
right. It was Tokyo Mirage Sessions on the Switch from Xeno Emblem.
So it is first party.
How am I supposed to know that? I mean, really.
I have not played that game.
This song comes to us from Steister.
I know this. There's going to be a girl that's singing Turn It Up.
It's right up your alley.
Oh. Does that have Paradise in the title?
Sure does.
This is Turn It Up. This is a great song. Paradise Killer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just listen to this for the rest of the day? So I can seriously your reactions.
I haven't played this game yet, but I listened to the whole soundtrack.
Does it remind you of that J-Lo song a little bit?
I get a bit of J-Lo vibe, that one song.
I was from the first one.
Let's still a little bit more. I just wanted to get to the chorus. That's a visual novel. Paradise Kill.
Looks like it's a fun.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very good. Seister says, I have to play this, it's so weird. I'm not in the chat, I gotta drop down. Man, it's so good!
All right.
Man, that's good.
It really is good. That was from Steister. It was a real banger. And I guess that's it. It was from Steister. The next song comes from Regnilla.
It's got the feel of a song from a game that a company didn't really care about, but didn't not care about it.
So specific.
What system is it? Is it? I don't want to say GameCube.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Wii.
Okay, all right. I was in there. All right. Is it a franchise?
Yeah.
Is it a Mega Man?
No.
Is it a Capcom game?
Yeah.
All right. See, I know what I'm talking about. So it's a game from Capcom where they kind of cared about it, but they didn't really care about it. I'm sorry. Is it a franchise?
I think so.
Capcom Wii. That should narrow it down. So it's not Resident Evil. It's not Mega Man. It's not Zack and Wiki. Capcom. What did you say, Wii?
Yeah.
Is it an Ace Attorney?
No.
It's a WiiWare, I think. Come on, Nikki Hill, you're my Wii guy. Capcom.
I like you say that it narrows it down because it was on Wii, but like the Wii had tons of games.
Yeah, but it's Capcom, so it's not Monster Hunter. It's not Street Fighter. Is it Tatsunoko versus Capcom?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Glad I could help.
Thank you.
Tatsunoko versus Capcom from Regnilla. This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. Oh, I know this right away. Oh, never mind. I'll let someone else answer.
That's why I nestled it in here.
This is Final Fantasy VII.
There we go.
Temple of the Ancients. Now this goes back to that what we were talking about with music and memory. Like I can see that temple perfectly when I hear that song, and I like that song. But the tempo was so frustrating that it like drives me crazy to hear it.
I still listen to the soundtrack all the time.
Well
It's
done.
one of the
fellas.
best. One of the consistent best.
Yep.
Here comes one from Mikey3319.
Okay, this has a GameCube era vibe to it.
It's not GameCube.
Wii?
Nope.
N64?
Yes.
Oh, so it's a high quality N64. What is this? Is this first party?
No.
It's good quality. Biggity Buck Bumble.
No.
Is it a Sega on the N64? It doesn't make any sense. It's not. It's got a Sega vibe to it.
I don't know.
No, it's not a Sega. It's the N64. I know it's not a Sega. Oh wait. Oh man, what is this? Is it a racing game?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Beetle Adventure Race.
No.
Extreme something.
No.
Some kart title.
No.
San Francisco Rush.
No.
Kirby, you're my N64 guy. Help me out.
Glover.
No.
That's not a racing game. Oh God, what is this? Is it cutesy?
Did you say Wave Race?
It's not Wave Race. I mean, I don't think it's meant to be cutesy.
Oh my God, what is this? N64 might
It's a racing game?
Might be racing game.
I'm pretty sure, considering
Okay.
the title, that it's a racing game.
I feel like I know this. Is it Konami?
I don't know.
Is it? You're sure it's not first party?
Yeah.
Okay. God, I'm drawing a blank for other
Did we
racing.
already say all the cruising games?
It's not cruising.
I'm drawing a blank for racing games on the N64.
Yeah. It's not like Diddy Kong Racing, is it?
Nope.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Can I give you a hint?
I'll take half a point.
Well, I mean, it's not really worth taking half a point away. The hint. It's licensed.
Is it Wave Race?
No.
Licensed.
Is it Beetle Adventure Racing?
No.
That game is great, by the way.
Was there a Micro Machines game on 64?
There was, and this is it, Kirby.
Yes! Oh, I finally came through.
Well done.
For a second, I thought you were going to say Mike Tyson Racing.
Yeah, his little known second career was as a race car driver.
That's correct.
Micro Tyson. Mikey was a race car driver.
That was from Mikey 3319, and it was Micro Machines 64 Turbo.
Mike Tyson.
Yes, of course. Mike Tyson's Burnout. Says it all. This last song for the week comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
Did you say this is the last song?
Yeah.
Little Samson.
No.
This sounds like it's actual NES.
It is.
I'm getting a kind of licensed vibe.
It is licensed.
Okay, it's licensed, but it's not a high quality license. It's like this isn't Capcom. Barbie?
It's not Barbie.
Ken.
Nope.
This doesn't sound like this sounds. It sounds like a bad company. It's gotta. Is there something about like water, like oceans or something?
That's
the beach.
No, although the license isn't about a beach, but there are references to beaches. I don't want that to throw you off because you're not going to get it because of that.
License is still around today.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. My Little Pony.
No.
NES license. They don't. The Simpsons.
No.
They don't care about it. It's giving me like. No, that one makes sense.
Is it like Looney Tunes?
No.
Oh, this isn't a Disney property, right? It can't be.
No.
It's Capcom. It's not Capcom. Still around today. What do we have that's still around today? This is from a developer that wasn't good, in my opinion. How about Muppets? Something Muppets.
No.
How about something educational? All right, I don't know. Go ahead.
Monopoly. Got it?
I know I'm going to say it now, and nobody's going to believe me, but I was thinking board game, and I just ended up not saying that because I was like, what kind of theme is this? A tropical themed song for Monopoly? That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it.
So what we get?
I was saying Monopoly, but I was on mute the whole time.
6 out of 10 we got here? I think that's what we got.
I don't know.
Sounds right.
6 out of 9.
6 out of 9. We did it.
6 out of 9, baby.
Is there a rumor for us?
There is. So
okay.
This one's actually true, funnily enough. So earlier in the podcast, we were actually talking about how they're not going to make, there's no plans to make a new Switch, an updated Switch. And as soon as Fujikama said that, who said that?
Mr. Furukawa?
As soon as Furukawa said that, he called me up.
Whoa.
And he was like, don't tell anybody. But the new one's coming, baby. So there is going to be a new Switch. Take that.
What are they calling it?
They're calling it the change. Right.
The Nintendo change.
Right now, it's called Project. Oh man, what was it called?
I mean, you had the call with the guy. I don't know.
I know. I'm trying to remember. I think it was called. Switch 2. Yeah, that's what it was.
I heard they're calling it the Swii U.
I think it's called the Swii U. Yeah, that's what he said it was. The Swii U is definitely better.
Thank you for the insight, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for letting me share all these tidbits.
Well,
it's good to know that one's actually true.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nice to have one that's true, not a rumor this week. I appreciate that.
Yeah, usually they sound outlandish and crazy, but every once in a while you get one like this that's just rock solid.
The Swii U, that's definitely real. All right, everybody, we did it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Oh, I got that one in there.
Goodbye, everybody.
That's good.
Oh boy.
So, roughly, how many times have you accidentally crapped your pants? Rough number.
Oh no.
Well, I haven't crapped my pants, but I have sharded.
How many times have you sharded your pants?
Probably twice.
Oh,
like once.
Full mill.
Like once real good in the pants, like as an adult we're talking.
Once real good in the pants.
So once real good in the pants, and once in the shower. And I think you can still, I think if you're naked, you could still shart. I think the sharting doesn't have anything to do with the clothes. I think it's the fact that you thought it was a fart and it turned into a shart. So I did shart in the shower.
Yeah. If you're gonna shart, that's the place to do it. Definitely.
It was bad because it was bigger than a shart. It was quite a bit bigger than a shart, and I ended up having to like take my toe and like kind of put it down the drain. But the drains are like like little cheese graters, so I had to like cheese grate with my toe down.
That's called waffle stomping.
I was gonna say they call that a waffle stomp.
You waffle stomped.
The chat is saying waffle stomp.
So, well, I didn't realize that's what I did, but it makes sense.
Giant Reggie says, "Do dropping deuces." Oh man. Mom Brain Colma says we got to add Species Spicy Meatball to the soundboard.
Yeah,
definitely,
right.
definitely. Anastasia Beaverhausen says, "Who hasn't squashed poop down a drain with their foot?" I can say that I have not.
I haven't.
I mean,
that you know of.
Hopefully, I still have plenty of time left in my life where I could make it happen. I mean, maybe I could do it tonight.
I love how you think you're so fucking great.
What?
Oh,
no, you can curse. It's okay. We're after show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can curse now.
Imagine coming to him for emotional support after you do something like that, and him being like, "I don't know how this happens. I don't know how you do that." Like, dude, I just got very vulnerable with you and shared with you the fact that I sharded, and I just need a little emotional support, and I get this holier than thou preachy clean butthole thing.
Some of us eat more than just binding agents, Romy.
And some of us are not always 10 feet from a toilet.
Shit.
That is true. I am very close to a toilet at all times.
Right. Like his own toilet.
Yo, this is like when Lube was talking down everyone for picking up med kits too late in the game, and then he needed a med kit.
Well, then I don't want to be a lube. Let me take this at the end of the show here to apologize to everyone who has sharded, who constantly sharts or who has thought about sharting. I have not done it, but I will no longer torture you or make you feel bad about your pain, your accidents. You're
That
welcome.
was a real apology. Most people would be like, if I offended you, that was not my intention. I am sorry. You actually apologized.
It was a real apology. I will no longer frown upon the sharters. I will extend my hand with toilet paper in a helpful nature.
No, it's like when people get cancer and like their friends and family shave their heads in solidarity. I think you have to shart right now.
I do the laundry in this house.
Anastasia Beaverhausen has the greatest apology by saying, "I'm sorry that you sharted." Let me apologize to all the sharters for you have sharted. Joe is cool says, on behalf of those who think about sharding, we thank you. Slacker Monkey says, I'm glad he addressed those of us who have thought about it. We appreciate it.
So this is another subtle nuance to me. Like you could think about sharding in the way that Nikki Hill thinks about it, in that he's worried about sharding, or you can think about sharding like, I think I'm going to give sharding a try.
I think today's the day. All right,
that's a name for you. It's called Sharding Simulator.
No!
That is your.
Don't ruin sharding for me.
That's your after show, everybody.
Sharding has ruined sharding.
Thanks for watching the after shart, everybody. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Play some games, rest, relax, hang out with friends and family virtually, safely, whatever you're doing. Take a rest.
So shart.
You deserve it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, somebody put that great GIF in the chat just now.
That's the guy actually